Welcome into the Blue Raiders softball field, this side of the Class 1A state championship game as the Gordonsville Tigerettes take on the Jo Byrns Lady Devils. I'm Noah McKay on the call here on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network. Thrilled to be joined in the press box by my friend Jacob Vincent. The high school softball season comes down to today, and it is the final game of the season in the 1A classification. Kaylee Plumley in the circle, ready to get going as the Tigerettes trying to go back-to-back and defend their state championship. In their way, a team that's pushed them more than anybody else in the class this year, Jo Byrns. They met a couple of weeks ago at Crump Harris Park in the region championship game, and it was the Tigerettes winning, but it took extras, 3-2, when a run walked home to walk off the ball game. Leading off for the Red Devils is Faith Holt, the center fielder. She'll be followed up by the second baseman, Millie Putnam, and followed up by the pitcher, Callie Yates. We'll tell you about the rest of their lineup here coming up, but it is the Tennessee commit, the junior lefty, Kaylee Plumley in the circle here at MTSU. Let's get it on for a state championship. First pitch of the game from Plumley is waved at and missed for strike one.
And Plumley in this tournament has only pitched in 14 innings through 3 games because they have been absolutely dominant in this tournament so far. 13-1, 10-0, 13-0 yesterday has not gone longer than 5 innings in a game.
And she is ahead in the count 0-2. Back-to-back fastballs pumped by Faith Holt. That one was looked at, and it's quickly 0-2 here for Kaylee Plumley, the dominator in the circle. She strikes out 19-plus routinely. Hadn't had a chance to do it in this tournament as the 0-2. That one misses upstairs for a 1-2 count. We are live on the main UCR Facebook page and YouTube channel today. On a cloudy day, there is rain and storms moving this way, we hope, and we think we should be able to get this game in if it moves at a good enough pace as Plumley rocks and deals in the 1-2 to Faith Holt. That one swung on and missed. And what a start for Kaylee Plumley as she pumps in the first Birdie's Lounge strikeout of the game.
Yeah, and this is a really good Jo Byrns team. These are the 2 best teams in the 1A classification, and Jo Byrns absolutely earned their way here into the championship game after they actually fell on their side yesterday in that semifinal matchup. They fell to Hollow Rock Brewston 2-1 and came back to win 1-0. They had 3 one-run games throughout the tournament so far, and obviously have already played Gordonsville tough once this year in the region championship.
Millie Putnam stands in. The first pitch is across, another fastball. All fastball so far from Kaylee Plumley. She goes ahead 0-1. Behind Callie Yates, who's on deck, is Julia Arms, the shortstop. She'll be followed up by the third baseman, Kalia Lucas. Batting 6 is the catcher, Riley Raines. Batting 7th, the right fielder, is Miley Head. Batting 8th is the first baseman, Anna Putnam. And batting 9th is Ella Risha. The second pitch misses upstairs. Looking for the rise ball for the first time, and it's 1-1 here to Millie Putnam.
And for Jo Byrns, they have 2 pitchers that they will use, and Yates and Lucas have worked evenly through the tournament so far.
That one in there, strike 2, and going ahead once again of Putnam is Kaylee Plumley. It's 1-2.
Now, how about this atmosphere as well? These stands are absolutely jam-packed. The first time it's played here at MTSU, and the fans have shown out.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Another rise ball, and it's back-to-back Birdie's Lounge strikeouts for Kaylee Plumley, who's got the goods early on in this one. And you mentioned the crowd. It's tremendous, and it is overwhelmingly pro-Gordonsville. They have gone to the Jo Byrns side and then some. Only maybe 6 deep of Jo Byrns fans to our right. Everybody else is wearing blue, and it's not Middle Tennessee blue. It's Gordonsville Tigerette blue. Standing in here is the pitcher, Callie Yates, and she is the reason their team is in this game. One of the 2 pitchers for this squad. As the first pitch misses low, 1-0, and the pitching has carried Jo Byrns. You notice all those low scores, very different from what Gordonsville has done, run ruling everybody through this tournament.
Well, Yates at 13 2/3 innings in this tournament. Lucas actually has 14 innings as well, combining for the 27 innings, whereas Kaylee Plumley has only pitched 14.
The 1-0, that one catches the outside corner for Plumley, 1-1, and for Plumley, if she's not walking people or hitting batters, look out. And right now, she's pounding the strike zone.
And really doesn't hit a lot of batters, but the walks have been an issue at times here in the postseason. But early on here today, she's had the good stuff.
Here comes the 1-1. Waved at and missed the rise ball that was eye high. And now Plumley staring right at a dominant first inning as she goes ahead 1-2.
Yeah, and she's going to choke up on the bat here in Yates. The lefty stepping in against the lefty with a lot of velocity in the circle and trying to make this a quick inning.
Plumley, the 1-2 pitch delivered home. That one misses away. And it's 2-2. The wind is picking up. We expect that to continue. It's blowing straight out of the park, a little bit left to right. So anything high and deep will have enough juice to probably get out of here today. It is the tall fence, probably about 6 feet or so across all the way, 200 to all sides, here at Middle Tennessee State University. A 2-2 pitch coming home to Callie Yates from Kaylee Plumley. That one misses. Yates takes. And now we run full for the first time. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And we talked about it, especially in that game against Wartburg yesterday. If you're not one of the best hitters in the lineup and you're trying to find your way aboard, it's going to be tough to do so against Kaylee Plumley. Your best opportunity is either A, to bunt, or B, to just go up there and take some pitches and hope for a walk.
3-2 payoff pitch. Swung on, popped up in the infield, and Kaylee Plumley calmly catches that one for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Plumley and the Tigerettes. They'll be looking to strike first when we come back. This is the Class 1A State Championship game presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
What if opportunity was all in a day's work?
We find new ways to make vacation dreams a reality. And that inspires me to do my best work every single day.
What if you can make a real impact in people's lives with a team that cares?
What I do matters, not just for guests, but for my team. We rely on each other each and every day.
What if your work inspired fun and moved people?
We put the world on vacation. Our job is to make people happy. Inspiring travelers around the world to live their best lives never stops being fulfilling.
At Travel and Leisure, what if can be what is. Stop wondering. Join the travel movement and start a career where memories start with you.
Welcome back as we head to the bottom of the first inning. It is scoreless between Jo Byrns and Gordonsville in the Class 1A State Championship game. The Tigerettes will bat 1 through 9 like this. Leading things off is the center fielder, Abby Brinkley, followed up by the pitcher, Kaylee Plumley. Batting third is the first baseman, Kelsey Watts. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Mackenzie Herron. Batting fifth is the catcher, Bailey Stewart. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Kaylin Roberts. Batting seventh, the designated player, Callie Dillard. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Christina Ray. And batting ninth is the shortstop, Kelsey Haley. Their opponent in the circle is the right-hander, Callie Yates, and she's tasked with limiting an offense for Gordonsville that has exploded in this state tournament.
Yeah, they've been absolutely tremendous, hitting almost 500 as a team in this state tournament.
First pitch swinging here. This one is a one-hopper over to second. No problem, and it's a one-pitch out as Millie Putnam is there for out number 1.
And that's what Yates and Lucas, both the pitchers, are going to do, assuming that Lucas comes in at some point in this game, is they don't get a ton of strikeouts. Only 26 strikeouts in their game so far in this state tournament. Now you're going to see that outfield back up almost all the way to the ball as Kaylee Plumley steps in.
They did pitch to Kaylee Plumley in the region championship game. It looks like they're going to pitch to her again today. She certainly made Wartburg pay a day ago as the first pitch misses outside ball 1 as she hit a bomb over the right field fence at the Starplex.
There is a road beyond the right field fence here at MTSU, and that road is in danger.
Plumley settles into that left-handed batter's box as the 1-0 pitch coming home. This one healthy cut. Comes up empty on the rise ball, and it's 1-1.
And this Gordonsville team, you mentioned it, hadn't had a home run until yesterday, at least in the state tournament. Hit 3 of them yesterday. Abby Brinkley, Kaylee Plumley, and then Bailey Stewart. And Bailey Stewart is having one heck of a state tournament right now.
Here comes the 1-1 into Plumley. That one swung on, sent a long way into right field. It is way back, and it is gone. Goodbye, softball. They pitch to Kaylee Plumley, and she deposits it over the right field fence.
Yeah, you got to pitch at your own peril like we talked about, and Kaylee Plumley starts it off in a great way. That one just barely got over the right field fence, a line drive that time, but it's a 1-0 start for the Tigerettes, and we've talked about it throughout the postseason. There is no reason to pitch to Kaylee Plumley because you will lose if you pitch to Kaylee Plumley.
They pitched to Kaylee Plumley. Yesterday it was a towering shot. That time it was a low line drive, but it was at least 6.5 feet tall as it got over that right field fence, and it is home run number 22 of the season for Plumley, and the Tigerettes lead 1-0. Here comes the hero of last year's state tournament, Kelsey Watts. She hit a grand slam in that championship game against Eagleville. Rolls over the first pitch she sees to short. And there's the second out of the inning, and it would have been a double play if they would have just walked Kaylee Plumley. They did not, and now Jo Byrns is in a hole. Mackenzie Herron strides in with nobody on and 2 outs.
Well, for Yates, you feel like you've thrown pretty well. You've thrown 2 pitches, and you've gotten 2 outs. However, the other few pitches that you have thrown went way over the wall for a home run.
And Plumley going in the circle. It could be enough. Gordonsville.
That's how much it was for South Pitt.
First pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. Yeah, they pitched to her in that sub-state game, 1-0 ball game, and it was because Kaylee Plumley parked one over the fence.
That was the difference. They started walking her after that.
They did. Callie Yates has now left-handed pitches in there, called a strike. It's 1-1 into Mackenzie Herron.
As Jo Byrns' team mentioned, they've played 4 games in this tournament so far. 3 of them have been one-run games. The only one that was not was against Oliver Springs in the quarterfinals that they won 7-2. So all of their games have been close for the most part.
Check swing. Herron able to keep her hands back, takes it outside, 2-1. And, I mean, it's not on the pitchers. It's the coaches deciding to pitch to Kaylee Plumley. Whether it be ignorance or arrogance, it's a bad idea.
You couldn't pay me to.
No, there's no reason to. Here comes the 2-1. 3-1. We've talked about it. I'd give her the Barry Bonds treatment. Bases loaded. Go ahead and walk down. We'll give up the 1 run.
Yep. And listen, with Gordonsville, they're hitting the ball, the cover off the ball. They're batting .461 with 14 extra base hits and 32 runs driven in. So elsewhere, they're going to make you pay, but you cannot make Kaylee Plumley beat you.
Big swing and a miss on that one, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes as Yates tries to get back in the dugout with the damage to just 1 run.
And if you can limit it to the 1 run, you feel okay. But we have seen, it's for South Pitt specifically, we just talked about it, that 1 run was the difference.
Long look over as the sign comes in from the dugout. Yates has it, and now here comes a 3-2 payoff pitch. Swung on, this one hit over towards second, tips off the glove in the second baseman, and she will reach. Mackenzie Herron with a 2-out base runner for Bailey Stewart.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting there. Got to the 3-2 count, something on the outside part of the plate that pokes to that right side. Second baseman had a range over to her right, just couldn't get there in time. It was hard enough hit, kind of bounces off her glove out into center field. And now you've got a runner on for Bailey Stewart, who has the most amount of hits here in the state tournament for Gordonsville. She's got a couple of triples. She's got a double in there as well, and has driven in multiple runs.
It is ruled a base hit, as that was going to be a tough play for the second baseman, despite getting the glove to it. First pitch into Stewart is a called strike, as Herron bounces off the bag at first. What a start for Gordonsville. 1-2-3 defensively. Kaylee Plumley with a solo shot, and now Mackenzie Herron with a 1-out base knock.
And we saw Bailey Stewart hit one 250 feet yesterday as well to dead center. That Goose got a great picture of.
Comes the 0-1. This one sent a long way into right field. It gets down to the wall. Runner heading for second. Right fielder just now to it. It's going to score a run. Stewart chugging into third. It's an RBI triple. Bailey Stewart with another one off the right field wall, and it's 2-0 Tigerettes.
I just talked about it. That is the 3rd triple of this state tournament for Bailey Stewart. She drives in another run, and her hot hitting streak continues here in the state championship. And listen, they got Kaylee Plumley. Bailey Stewart's been the best hitter at the plate so far this week.
Bailey Stewart hit that one. It bounced into the fence. The right fielder was to it and then slipped up on the warning track out there, and Head had to come back into the outfield to get it. It was probably going to be a triple anyway, but that made sure it was a stand-up triple for Bailey Stewart. And what a start here for Gordonsville as they look to go back-to-back. Kaylin Roberts looking to add on with a runner at third and 2 outs.
That is the 6th hit of the week for Bailey Stewart. She is batting over .625.
Insane.
3 triples, by the way.
Insanity. And that's one of the hardest things to do. That's harder than a home run in softball with the field dimensions. As the first pitch misses outside for ball 1 here to Kaylin Roberts.
And this is what makes it really tough against this Gordonsville team is it does not get any easier. There is no reprieve. You get to 7, 8, 9, and they have driven in the majority of the runs for this Gordonsville team this week.
The 1-0, this one hit right back towards us. The net catches it, and it's 1-1. Plumley with a solo shot. Couple of ground outs, then Mackenzie Herron with a single. She has scored as Bailey Stewart then ripped a triple for an RBI again. 2-0 Gordonsville, but they're looking for more. The 1-1, that one misses for a ball. Now it's 2-1. It says 2-2 on the scoreboard. I'm pretty sure it's 2-1.
Well, home plate umpire may have actually just said 2-2.
I missed
where that
then.
other strike was.
All right, apologies. Make it a 2-2. Pitch coming in. That one misses upstairs. Ball 3, and it's either 3-2 or 3-1. Either way, Roberts showing a good eye at the plate.
And we saw 3-2 counted. It's 3-2, says the home plate umpire. 3-2 count worked. Batter before Stewart, able to reach, and Herron.
3-2 payoff pitch misses. Ball 4, and Kaylin Roberts heads down to first. Runners at the corners for the DP. Callie Dillard, 7th hitter of the inning for Gordonsville. And it's all coming up blue right now here at Blue Raider softball field.
Yeah, and this is where they're really dangerous in these first and third situations where they've got a runner with a lot of speed in Roberts over at first base, so they can really get you into some binds on those first and third situations where if you do throw through, they're going to send the runner home from third.
They did it yesterday to Wartburg, looking to do it again here potentially. First pitch into Dillard, misses upstairs. And just a couple of slide steps for Roberts that time. 1 ball, no strikes for Yates. She had a couple of one-pitch outs. Everything else been hard hit, and she's a pitch-to-contact pitcher. And this is a powerful lineup for Gordonsville. They've shown it off here in the first.
They've now got 15 extra base hits as a team.
Off-speed pitch for one of the first times. That one's waved out and missed, and it's 1-1.
16, actually. Home run in the triple.
Three-run rule victories already for Gordonsville over the past 3 days. Here in day number 4 of the state tournament, they're out in front 2-0. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Pitch coming into Dillard. This one's fouled back, and it's 1-2.
And I mentioned Dillard. She's here in this 6 spot, 7 spot in the lineup, and she's got some of the most power in the lineup. I mean, this is a team that has over 40 home runs as a team. Obviously, Kaylee Plumley, big reason that because she's got now 22 on the season. That still means there's 18 other home runs hit by the rest of the team.
Here comes the 1-2 home to her. That one misses outside with a fastball. Runner takes off. It'll be a domino stolen base for Kaylin Roberts. 2 in scoring position now, and a 2-2 count to Callie Dillard. They could really pop this one open with 1 swing of the bat here by Callie Dillard. They already have 2 runs of run support for Plumley. Here comes the 2-2. That one swung on and just foul tipped. We'll do it again.
Yeah, just barely went outside again and barely got the end of the bat on it. And you see some of the Jo Byrns fans saying you just need 1 pitch to get out of the inning, and they would love to get out of the inning because, like you said, Callie Dillard has the ability not only to put it out of the park, she can put it to the fence, and she can find a gap and possibly score 2 runs.
The 2-2 coming here. On the rubber, rocking back and firing home. That one outside, and we run full again for the second straight time. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Christina Ray with tons of speed waiting on deck.
And this is where Jo Byrns struggled in the region championship. They walked 10 Tigerettes in that game combined between Lucas and Yates. Neither of them really were able to find the strike zone well in that game.
The 3-2 payoff pitch swung on, fouled back. What a battle here between Yates and Dillard.
Yeah, another foul off and another 3-2 pitch. And we saw the walk issued to Roberts. She's now on second base. Before that, it was the hit by Heron on the right side of the infield. They do not go down easily. And they've only struck out 7 times through the 3 games here in the state tournament as a team.
Another 3-2 payoff pitch coming home from Yates. That one swung on and missed, strike 3, but the damage is done for the Tigerettes as they strike for 2, including the solo shot for Kaylee Plumley. She's back to work in the circle when we come back. This is the Class Single A State Championship game presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network. Frontier Chevrolet is ready to get you into your next vehicle and are proud to offer a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all vehicles below 80,000 miles. View inventory online at www.caseychevy.com, including the brand new Chevy Trax and Traverse, or stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway today. Remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Delicious Pan Pizza is Domino's best kept secret, with locations in Smithville, Sparta, Livingston, Allgood, and 2 in Cookeville. Delicious pan and hand-tossed pizza, pasta, and more is never far away. Use the Domino's app to take care of your game day eats today. Domino's is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Welcome back to Middle Tennessee State University, where the first inning was a great one for the Gordonsville Tigerettes, looking to defend their championship. It is 2-0 heading to the second. Kaylee Plumley with a solo home run, and Bailey Stewart with an RBI triple to strike for the runs. Plumley back to work in the circle. She'll face off against Julia Arms, Kalia Lucas, and Riley Raines. 4-5-6 in the Jo Byrns Lady Devils offense.
Yeah, and for this Gordonsville team, and here in the championship, obviously they've won this twice already. Last year against Eagleville 5-2. Before that, it was back in 2014 when they won their first ever against Knox Grace 3-0. So you would expect this game to be a close one, but the way Gordonsville has been hitting the cover off the softball this week, it might not be close, especially with Plumley in the circle, how well she has pitched. Nobody has been able to get on base against her unless you're walking or reaching on an error.
Julia Arms is going to stand in here. It was strikeout, pop-out in the first inning through the top 3 in the Jo Byrns order. This is their first state championship game appearance in school history. They've been to the tournament 3 straight years now. They have never won a team state championship or any state championship in the history of the school. 0-1 as the off-speed is fired in there for strike one.
You mentioned they're here now 3 years in a row. 2 years ago, they were 2 games away from the state championship, and they actually beat Gordonsville to end their season. Last year, they were beaten by Eagleville in the winner go-home game to make the state championship.
This one's weakly rolled, and it hit the batter Arms, so it's going to be 0-2. Arms has had some success against Kaylee Plumley. She's got a big, tall frame in there, trying to shorten up the swing a little bit. But Plumley, now with the run support, really probably going to be ripping it in there.
Well, and Arms had one of the 2 hits in the region championship against Plumley. They were able to get a couple of runs across, only 1 earned run in that region championship.
The 0-2 for Plumley. That one rolled over. It was another changeup, and it's caught over at third. Getting down there to get it before it hit the ground was Lakin Roberts for out number 1.
Yeah, and Lakin Roberts, a player that doesn't get a hit in the lineup, but she's always out there at third base. And something I was thinking about earlier today, this Gordonsville team is so impressive because, Kaylee Plumley strikes out 15, 16, 17 batters a game. That means there's not a lot of balls hit into the field, but every single time they are ready to make the play.
Kalia Lucas stands in now. That is 3 changeups in that last AB for Plumley, and then she follows it up with a fastball in there for strike 1.
And we've seen kind of the 3-pitch mix, and there's a breaking ball in there as well that she can rip off, but it's mainly the fastball, the changeup, and the rise ball, and she gets a lot of strikeouts on that rise ball.
Plumley, Roxton fires the 0-1. It's 0-2. Waved at and missed, and not very close. She's hunting Birdie's Lounge strikeout number 3. Lucas steps out, now will climb back in, the third baseman for Jo Byrns. Here comes the 0-2 from Plumley. Now one, a rise ball, dips out of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's what's so impressive about in softball. If you've got a pitcher, you're going to go a long way, but they've also got a lot of other players. I mean, we've seen Bailey Stewart this week. Kelsey Watts last year hits the grand slam. I mean, this Gordonsville team as a team is very good.
0-2, swung on, foul tipped into the mitt for strike 3. The third Birdie's Lounge strikeout of the game for Kaylee Plumley. I'll tell you about the defensive alignment in the field for Gordonsville. It is familiar. The first baseman is Kelsey Watts. Kaylin Roberts is over at second. The third baseman, as we mentioned, is Lakin Roberts. Out in left field for the Tigerettes today is Mackenzie Heron, the right fielder, Christina Ray, and in center, Abby Brinkley. Catching the balls and strikes behind the dish is Bailey Stewart. 5 up, 5 down to start for Kaylee Plumley here in this title game. Riley Raines trying to change that as pitch 1 bounces in.
And so far, and we've seen it at times in this state tournament, the control has gotten away from Kaylee Plumley. Saw it yesterday just a little bit against Wartburg, game before against Wartburg as well, but it has been able to work around that. I mean, even when she walks batters, she's usually able to come back with a strikeout or 2 to get out of an inning. But so far today, she's been able to pinpoint a lot of her pitches.
And it's relative, of course, with Plumley when we talk about struggles. That one across, she's really starting to fire that off-speed pitch, 1-1.
Yeah, I've been going to that changeup a lot. First pitch, wasn't quite sure what it was because it made it about halfway there, and it rolled there. So,
climbing back in here is Riley Raines. She's the 6-hole hitter in the order for Jo Byrns. Plumley with a 1-1. This one swung on, popped back into the foul net, and it's 1-2. Plumley on the doorstep of heading back into the dugout where they'll be looking for more with 8-9-1 coming up.
Yeah, that's not a normal 8-9-1. We've talked about it all week long. 7-8-9, very, very productive. Christina Ray, Kelsey Haley have had a lot of hits this week, driven in a lot of runs, and they've got speed.
Plumley with a 1-2. Fired home. Rise ball up and out of there, 2-2. Let us know in the comments who you are, where you're listening from, who you're cheering for in this one. I imagine it's a very partisan crowd and probably not a ton from Gordonsville because they are all here. The entire population of Gordonsville, Tennessee is here. If you're listening in the stadium, that's cool as well. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Another changeup for Kaylee Plumley. And it's the 4th Birdie's Lounge strikeout in 2 innings so far for the Tennessee commit. We'll head to the bottom of the second with Ray, Haley, and Brinkley coming up. This is the Class 1A State Championship game presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UC Army Media Network. Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UC Army Media Network. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. We head to the bottom of the second. Christina Ray, Kelsey Haley, Abby Brinkley due up for the Tigerettes. Looking for insurance, albeit it's early, but it counts as insurance with Kaylee Plumley throwing the way she has. 6 up, 6 down so far for the Jo Byrns offense. For Gordonsville, 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 left in the field. 1 walk issued, and back to work in the circle was Callie Yates.
Yeah, and Callie Yates, and it started off, you got that first pitch out, and then Kaylee Plumley steps in, cranks a home run. Next batter comes up, and Kelsey wants to get the second out on 1 pitch. But this Gordonsville team, all the way through, is really, really good at working counts. They've been able to time up Yates pretty well, and it continues here with 8, 9, and 1. Christina Ray getting it started off.
Christina Ray is the right fielder. She climbs in for the first time. She's got a lot of speed in that right-handed batter's box. They were tagging up Yates, and I mentioned she's a pitch-to-contact pitcher. That's not probably the MO to slowing down this Tigerettes lineup with all the power that they've got. First pitch, that one was across, maybe a little bit low, ball 1.
Yeah, they're kind of dealing with some of the cicadas here at MTSU as well as they've been dealing with all week long at the Starplex in McKnight Park.
The attack of the cicadas. They're not even yelling as loud right now. They're just flying around attacking people. Here comes the 1-0 home to Ray. That one misses outside, and it's 2-0, and to your point, 1 through 9, they really see the softball well. You've got to make good pitches to force them to swing, and Ray has watched 2 that were close but did miss. Now she sets back up here, the 2-0 coming home. That one, a bit better. Across at the knees of the fastball, 2 balls, 1 strike. She'll be followed up by Kelsey Haley.
Before that hit by Mackenzie Herron in the first inning, Mackenzie Herron was the only player not batting .300 this week.
Wow. And she's over it now. Here comes the 2-1. This one swung over, chopped to third, fielded cleanly. The throw to first is on time. And there is out number 1, similar to out number 1 in the first inning. It's a ground out, and it'll bring up Kelsey Haley.
Yeah, we mentioned it. There's not going to be a ton of strikeouts, and obviously we've seen 1 already, so she's going to have a few across, but it's mainly that pitch to contact, trusting their defense, and at some point you would expect Lucas to come in. They tried to do that, try to throw off the timing a little bit. They did that, and actually went Yates, Lucas, and then Yates again in the region championship, and they've gone even innings so far this week in the tournament in their 4 games.
Now bunt shown by Haley. Pretty good one coming up to get it. The throw over is in time. A good job out of the circle by Callie Yates. And it's quickly 2 up, 2 down. Abby Brinkley, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out, will try and strike here for Gordonsville.
That's a great play by Yates because the first baseman was coming up and she wasn't able to get there. Second baseman got there in time. And Haley, we saw her do it yesterday against Wartburg, able to bunt for a single and move a runner into scoring position. That time was close, about a half step behind.
Now Yates trying to get a quick shutdown inning here. That could build some confidence for her in the circle. Would much rather face Kaylee Plumley to lead off the second, or the third rather, than here in the second, where they should either way walk her. First pitch was across for strike 1 to Abby Brinkley.
Zero reason you should not put her on the base.
That one swung on its slicing foul. And it's quickly 0-2 here for Brinkley. She swung at the first pitch she's seen. She's seen 3 strikes so far in this game.
Yeah, Yates has been really good here in this second inning so far. She got the couple of ground outs and then obviously a good play by herself there on the bunt. Now ahead 0-2.
The 0-2 coming home here to Abby Brinkley. Yates fires in, looking for the changeup. It didn't quite get there, so it's 1-2.
And Brinkley kind of loaded up early on that one as well, and then the changeup comes in, but it didn't get there. It bounces a little bit short, so it probably would have gotten her if it was able to get across.
1-2 coming here. Big rock back. That one misses up and out, and Brinkley able to take it. Haley Plumley hacking away in that on-deck circle. She's got to be swinging it with so much confidence right now. Home runs in back-to-back games. Here comes the 2-2 home to Brinkley. That one up and in. And nearly hit her, but she's all right. 3 balls, 2 strikes. From 0-2, it's now full.
Yeah, and Brinkley's got kind of an interesting setup. She'll set up wide, and then she'll bring that front foot in, but leave the toe down on the grass before she puts it down as the pitch comes in.
3-2, fouled back in a really good battle here. We'll do it one more time. Somebody's ringing out the cowbells here. They got the noisemakers.
I mentioned it's probably 75, 80% Gordonsville Tiger fans here.
It's a very partisan crowd in attendance. 3-2 payoff pitch one more time. That one misses. Ball 4, and a great walk worked by Abby Brinkley to battle back from being down 0-2. And here comes Kaylee Plumley, and surely they're not going to pitch to her again.
She has not been intentionally walked here in the state tournament.
My goodness, they're going to pitch to her again. Runner at first, and now a check down. Yeah, they're going to walk her.
That's smart.
That is the wise decision there for Jo Byrns, and they get the round of applause from the Gordonsville faithful. Runners at first and second, but here comes Kelsey Watts trying to do what she did in last year's championship game, and there'll be a courtesy runner going in there for Kaylee Plumley.
Yeah, it'll be Camry Johnson, who has been running all week long as that courtesy runner for Kaylee Plumley. So Plumley will have to come out. Johnson will come on to run. Plumley's got some speed. Johnson a good amount of speed as well. Has scored a lot of runs this week because Kaylee Plumley's been on the base pads a lot.
Kelsey Watts grounded out to short on the first pitch that she saw. She's going to stand in here for attempt number 2 against Callie Yates. Looking to strike, and Gordonsville's had some two-out magic to them all postseason long, even dating back to the district tournament, which seems like it was months ago at this point. First pitch, that one, taken for ball 1 by Kelsey Watts, the first baseman.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 2 outs. That's what they were able to do in the first inning. They got to 2 outs, and they were still able to bring across another run even after the home run.
Runners at first and second. The 1-0, that one bounces in, and the runners take off as it got just below the catcher. And now both runners move into scoring position here for the Tigers.
Yeah, I just kind of got, you mentioned it, popped out of the glove, went between the legs of the catcher, and it trickled behind her about 5 feet, was unable to find it quick enough. Both runners advance. Now one hit, possibly plates 2.
Mackenzie Herron on deck. She already has a single today. That one to Watts. Big swing and a miss on it. 2-1.
Yeah, just a little bit out in front on the pitch to the outside. Wasn't really going to be able to reach out there as she was kind of pulling to her left a little bit on the swing as well.
2 in scoring position here. Here comes the 2-1 from Yates. This one sent up and foul. If she straightens that out, it's going to go out of here. Deuces wild now. 2-2. 2 outs and 2 on here for Gordonsville with a 2-run lead. Watts takes a deep breath and climbs back in. Yates looking for a KO pitch. She toes the rubber, leans back and fires. That one low and outside for ball 3, and we've run full again. There's been several full counts in this game already worked by the Tigerettes. They had 2 in the first inning, another one here in the third.
Camry Johnson out at second base trying to point to where that pitch is going to come in at, setting up.
The 3-2 payoff pitch. That one swung on and missed the rise ball upstairs, and a big punch out there for Callie Yates. Strands 2 Tigerettes in scoring position. We'll head to the third. Jacob Benson will take the play-by-play headset. This is the Class 1A State Championship game presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network. From the sports field to the hunting field, our friends at Hall Sports and Outdoors can outfit anyone. Located in the heart of Jamestown at 207 South Main Street, Hall Sports and Outdoors carries everything from kayaks, fishing gear, and camo to guns and ammo. With top brands such as Columbia, Timberland, Under Armour, Asics, and much more, nobody can top their selection. Need some custom gear for your team? They also offer uniforms, gear, and custom embroidery. Stop by and see them at 207 South Main Street in Jamestown. Hall Sports and Outdoors, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Clint Connor is your local auctions expert. With full service from start to finish, the Exit Crossroads Auction Group are here to make the process easy for you. Visit crossroadsauctiongroup.com for more details and current auctions. Clint Connor, your local auctions expert, is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Back here at Blue Raiders softball field as the Gordonsville Tigerettes back out into the field facing 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup now is Kaylee Plumley in the circle, Miley Head, Anna Putnam, and Ella Risha, the right fielder, first baseman, and left fielder for the Red Devils. And for Jo Byrns here in their first ever state championship game in school history, no matter the sport. Pretty good start for them, allowing the 2 runs, but the home run, a big key in that one, and then obviously a big hit by Bailey Stewart as well back in the first.
Well, you just saw what they should have done in the first. They walked Kaylee Plumley, and then the next batter struck out, and that is not a given with this Gordonsville lineup. But pitching to Kaylee Plumley is a terrible idea. In a state championship game, they did it. Now they're down 2-0 because of it, and with the way Kaylee Plumley's throwing right now, you got to feel really good if you're a Tigerettes fan.
So Kaylee Plumley steps in the circle, now facing the 7th batter in the lineup here to start the top of the third, and the slap hitter fouls that one off back into the net for strike 1.
Yeah, Plumlee, she's just had a couple of pitches that have missed badly. Everything else has been around the zone. She's throwing well so far, and despite the fact that Jo Byrns saw her just a week or so ago, they're still struggling to time her up.
They've played 5 times since 2022. It's been in the region championship and in the state tournament each of the last 3 years. Once in the region championship, once in the state tournament. Jo Byrns got the best of them in 2022 both times as the pitch missed high from Plumlee to go to 1-1. But the last 3 times, starting with the region championship last year and in the state tournament last year, have all been to the Tigerettes. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2 now after the slap hitter. She'll go up in the box, and she was actually trying to take that to the right side of the infield that time and just kind of swung right underneath it. Now the home plate umpire having a conversation with her, possibly about being outside of the box. Maybe?
Yeah, she's trying to slap hit, but she's getting going too late. And Kaylee Plumlee's throwing 68 miles an hour. You got to get going earlier.
1-2 to Miley Head at the plate. Plumlee brings it home and misses outside. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. 6 up, 6 down through the first 2 innings so far with 4 Birdies Lounge strikeouts. A couple of lineouts in there as well. And they'll pop out to Plumlee in the circle. Here is the 2-strike pitch. That one goes over the head of Stewart behind the plate, and the count runs full at 3-2 for the second time today.
And if she had done what we had talked about earlier, just stand there, she would have already been at first base because she's offered at a couple of pitches that missed, and that's given Plumlee the opportunity here with a full count to maybe fire in that KO rise ball.
At a 3-2 to Callie Yates, who popped out to Plumlee in the circle. It's 3-2 here, the payoff, and that'll miss low for ball 4. It gets past Stewart. It'll go to the wall, and she'll have to quickly go corral it. And it will be the first base runner aboard here for Jo Byrns in the top of the third with the first walk issued.
Yeah, and it leads off the inning. So if you're Jo Byrns here, yes, it's the lower third of your order, but you may not have many more opportunities with base runners on. So you're looking to strike, especially in this situation where nobody's out.
I expect to see some bunts here at 8-9
yeah, absolutely.
in the lineup as Anna Putnam, the first baseman, will step in with a runner on first base, trying to move that runner over.
Those warm-up swings didn't say bunt, though, I'll tell you that.
And you got to throw them off.
Yep.
She does throw a bunt. Right side, it'll go foul. Couple of feet up that first base line, and it'll be strike 1.
Yeah, she took a couple of mammoth warm-up cuts and then stood in and bunted.
And honestly, it was a pretty good bunt. Just went foul up that right side. Trying to push it to the right side and advance that runner into scoring position. It's an 0-1 count here on Anna Putnam. The first time up to the plate for her here in the top of the third with nobody out. Plumlee, the lefty, ready to go against the righty Putnam. Brings it home. And the high rise ball started to offer at it, pulled it back just in time. It's 1-1. And actually, they're going to ask if she went. She did not go.
Ooh.
Tigerettes thought she did, but she did not, says the first base umpire. They do have three umpires here today.
I don't think she went.
I don't think so either. 1 ball and 1 strike. Plumlee brings it home again. The strike given that time, and right underneath it, finds the glove of Stewart. It's now 1-2.
Yeah, and with 1-2 here, usually you would say get out of that bunt, but I still think it may be your best chance to get contact there and move that runner into scoring position. Even if you could just get one if you're Jo Byrns, that's a big run they could bring across.
First baseman Putnam for Jo Byrns steps in with 2 strikes on her. Plumlee delivers home right down Broadway. Got her to look at it for the 5th Birdies Lounge strikeout of the game. And the first out here in the third.
And that's exactly why I think you just try to bunt there 1-2, and if it misses bad, try to get out of the way of it. But that time, trying to check out of bunt mode into swing mode, and Plumlee just deposits it right down the middle of the plate.
The left fielder, Elarisha, will step in for the first time for the Red Devils with a runner on first base and 1 out. Plumlee is ready to go, brings home the first pitch and misses high with the rise. It's 1-0. Plumlee has allowed base runners this week, has only given up 1 hit in her 16 1/3 innings pitched.
Yeah, no-hitter yesterday. She went through the distance, although it was only a 4-inning game, 13-0.
Here's the pitch from Plumlee, and that's a swing and a miss. It's 1-1. The 1 hit came in the bottom of the first to the 3rd batter in the lineup, and Gamblin for Halls, who absolutely crushed a home run. And nobody else has gotten a hit after that.
And they went crazy, and that was it.
They led 1-0 after the first inning. Yeah, they lost 13-1. That one is a called strike on the outside corner. It's now 1-2 to Elarisha at the plate.
Yeah, and after the walk, now all of a sudden Plumlee, she's settled back in a little bit, starting to dot him up in that various spots. She's brought the fastball, and now is the typical time where you see that rise ball.
Elarisha at the plate. Plumlee ready to go with the 1-2, swing and a miss with the rise ball. It's another Birdie's Lounge strikeout, 6 of them on the day. And now back to the top as Faith Holt will come to the plate with a runner on first and 2 outs.
It's such a great knockout pitch for Kaylee Plumley because she brings that fastball in right about the belt and starts that rise ball in the same spot and it elevates through until it's at your face, and you have to decide to swing early because of the velocity.
Faith Holt was a strikeout victim to start the game as this one is swung on, but a foul ball up the left field line. It goes into foul territory towards the dugout of Gordonsville, and it'll be strike 1. Runner on first base is Miley Head, who worked a walk after a 3-2 count, a ball in the dirt. She stands over at first base, and again, we've talked about it time and time again, even when you do get on base, you can't steal because there's so much velocity in the circle, and Bailey Stewart's got a really good arm behind the plate.
And because of her strikeout stuff, that leadoff base runner doesn't loom as large as it does for some teams because it's so tough to touch it.
That one misses high, and the count goes to 1-1. And Jo Byrns has given up, pitching-wise, a few of those stolen bases so far this week, whereas Gordonsville, I think it was only 1 or 2, and a lot of those were on first and third late in games when Callie Dillard was pitching. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, foul territory again, drifting left side. That'll sail out of play, and it's now 1-2. And really trying to pitch to the outside part of the plate here to Faith Holt is Plumley. And Holt has made some pretty good contact, just hasn't been able to get the bat head around quick enough.
Yeah, it's that velocity because she's made that contact, but she's registering it, she's seeing it, but by the time she's locating it, it's too late, and that's why it's going foul over down that left field line.
She's back in the box close to the plate. It's 1-2 count on her with 2 outs. Plumley rocks and deals, and the rise ball misses high. And no swing. It goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner on first and 2 outs here in the top half of the third. Plumley will step back on the rubber. She gets the sign and the 2-2. Rise ball again misses high above the head. It'll go to 3-2 for the second time here in the inning. And with the runner on first and 2 outs, a good opportunity here for Jo Byrns to try to bring Millie Putnam to the plate, their second batter in the lineup with 2 runners on. 3-2, another payoff pitch coming from Plumley, and she misses for ball 4. It will be runners on first and second after the second walk in the inning.
That's a good AB there by Faith Holt. She fouls a couple of good pitches off. She doesn't swing at anything that's well out of the zone, works the walk, second walk of the inning. So now for Plumley, she's got to batten that hatches a little bit because a base hit into the outfield can turn this into a 1-run game or even tie it up.
Yeah, listen, Jo Byrns is the second best team in the state behind Gordonsville, and they have shown it already this season in a 3-2 game that went to 8 innings. Here's the first pitch into Putnam. That's a foul ball. Back into the net for strike 1. Putnam a strikeout victim her first time up. And for Plumley, she was able to get ahead on Holt and Putnam that first time through at 1-2 and got those couple of strikeouts. This time it was a walk issued to Holt, and now Putnam behind 0-1. Runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Pitch from Plumley, and a swing and a miss on the rise ball. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that's typically the 2-strike pitch. She brought it in early in the AB, and you're kind of sitting on that fastball. It's typically where she goes in the middle of at-bats, and that's where you can use the fact that they've seen you a couple of times to your advantage and mix up that pitch mix.
Now ahead in the count at 0-2. Plumley delivers home. That's right down Broadway for called strike 3 and 7. Birdie's Lounge strikeouts on the day through 3 innings of work for Kaylee Plumley. The Tigerettes back to the plate with a 2-0 lead coming up in the bottom of 3. This is the Class 1A State Championship presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Fire and Vine in Cookeville is the Upper Cumberland's home for delicious Chicago-style pizza, beef, chicken, fish, and more. Located in Cookeville's historic downtown district, Fire and Vine's food and atmosphere will keep you coming back for more. Take in stunning views with creative food and drinks on the rooftop. Fire and Vine is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Visit swallowsinsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future, it's what we do. Back here at MTSU, it's a 2-0 lead right now for the Gordonsville Tigerettes. Trying to add on some more here in the third, and they'll have to face a new pitcher in the circle, Kalia Lucas. We mentioned it. They've got two pitchers, and they will use both of them. They've used them evenly throughout the state tournament so far. Kalia Lucas comes in here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, they keep bouncing back and forth between them, kind of like us on the commentary headset. And so, Lucas, you go from a left-handed pitcher to a right-handed pitcher. Second time through the order, they got the big out, being able to get around the intentional walk to Kaylee Plumley. So now you face off against 4, 5, 6, but there are no gaps in this order, so Lucas knows she has to bring her goods.
It is 4, 5, and 6. Mackenzie Herron, Bailey Stewart, and Kaylin Roberts. And I mentioned Mackenzie Herron. She's actually got the worst batting average on the team just this week in the cleanup spots. But again, this lineup is so good that it hasn't mattered at all. She got her first hit here today in the first inning. Swings at this one high out to right field, shallow right. Right fielder is there to make the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, she was playing a little bit up there in right field and got a great jump on that one. Thought off the bat it had a chance to kind of drop in that triangle, but she was able to get there in time to make the catch for out number 1. And as Herron ran over, she had a word of advice for Bailey Stewart, who is blisteringly hot at the plate right now.
Yeah, it was Miley Head who was able to make the grab out there and right. Bailey Stewart had the RBI triple off the wall, her first time up out in right field. Third triple of the week. She's also got a home run. And the first pitch in there for a called strike. It's 0-1.
And the home run was tanked.
It was hammered.
And they're playing pretty especially in center field here against Stewart.
Deep in left, and yeah, a little bit more shallow in center and right. But she's been going to all parts of the park. She hasn't hit a ball to left field yet this week. It's been mainly to right and to center. And the swing and the miss goes to 0-2. And for Stewart and a lot of these Tigerettes, a lot of them do not pull the ball. A lot of them go the other way with it. And they've got a lot of power doing so. And again, that wind is blowing out today towards right center.
It just picked up a little bit more.
The 0-2 rise ball misses high. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Rain, go away. There's some nasty storms out in West Tennessee, and the potential for some rain starting up in about 43 minutes. So let's get this show on the road.
Here in the bottom of the third right now, it is a dirt infield. And a swing and a miss there. And that's the first strikeout in the circle for Lucas.
Yeah, it's a good start for Lucas here checking in. She gets the fly out and then the really impressive strikeout with the off-speed pitch. So the strategy of changing pitchers, changing where it's coming from through 2 batters, it's working out for Jo Byrns.
So stepping in now will be Roberts, as that's a called strike on the outside corner. Lucas has been dotting up the zone a little bit more here. I guess you could call it relief, really their second starter, as they'll go 2 throughout each and every game. Kaylin Roberts was able to draw a walk her first time and then stole second base, was stranded right there back in the first. Lucas ready to go, the 0-1. That one hit hard left side. Shortstop Arms has it. The throw to first is in time, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the third, Jo Byrns trails by 2, but they're coming back to the plate in the top half of the fourth. This is the 1A State Softball Championship presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
What if opportunity was all in a day's work?
We find new ways to make vacation dreams a reality. And that inspires me to do my best work every single day.
What if you can make a real impact in people's lives with a team that cares?
What I do matters, not just for guests, but for my team. We rely on each other each and every day.
What if your work inspired fun and moved people?
We put the world on vacation. Our job is to make people happy. Inspiring travelers around the world to live their best lives never stops being fulfilling.
At Travel and Leisure, what if can be what is. Stop wondering. Join the travel movement and start a career where memories start with you.
The Jo Byrns fans making some noise as they come to the plate here in the top half of the fourth. It is 3, 4, and 5 due up. Callie Yates, Julia Arms, and then Kalia Lucas due up here in the inning, and they know that this is one of their good opportunities to try to get a run back on the board. Listen, you're only down 2-0. It only takes one swing of the bat, and against Kaylee Plumley, you just got to time it up.
Jo Byrns is playing well in this game. They made an extraordinarily bad decision in the first inning, and it very well may cost them a state championship. They're going to have to make up for that bad decision by stringing together some hits or getting on with walks and striking for maybe one clutch hit in this game.
Callie Yates popped out to Plumley her first time up and swings at a rise ball. She's behind 0-1. Worked a 3-2 count and then popped it up in the middle of the infield.
It cost South Pittsburgh a chance to come here, and it may cost Jo Byrns a chance because you pitched to the best player in the state, and she made you pay.
Comes the 0-1 from Plumley, and that's fouled back. 0-2, and yeah.
Because the next pitch, by the way, I know Stewart got the RBI triple. The next pitch was a hard hit grounder to short. It would have been a double play.
And you remember for South Pitt, they probably had the second best pitcher maybe in this tournament.
Yeah, she was awesome.
I mean, they were dueling in that 1-0 game.
It's flabbergasting. But, hey, we cover Gordonsville, so good job.
Here's the 0-2 from Plumley. This is a little bit low in the dirt that time. First time that we've seen her kind of go low in the zone rather than with the rise ball at 0-2.
And that may be to set it up, we'll say here.
Yeah, still ahead here, 1-2. As Yates steps in, choked up on the red bat.
Yep.
The rise ball does miss high. She laid off of it. It's 2-2. And we've seen that from Plumley. A lot of them, she has to get the swings and misses because she'll throw it high there, kind of at eye level, where if it doesn't get the swing, it's a ball no matter what. She doesn't try to throw it close to the zone.
She was trying to do that with that low pitch and then brought the rise ball high. Good job to lay off in the batter's box.
Now 2-2. And that misses high. 3 balls and 2 strikes back-to-back times that Yates has drawn a full count. And this time it leads off the inning here in the 4th. And we saw 2 walks in the 3rd issued by Plumley.
I suspect we're going to see the fastball and try to dare her to touch it and try to pump it by there down the heart of the plate.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Yates back in the box. The lefty against the lefty Plumley. Here comes the payoff. Right down Broadway. Swing and a miss. It's another Birdie's Lounge strikeout. Did challenge her with the fastball and got her to swing right through for the 8th one of the day in the circle for Kaylee Plumley.
At a certain point, you're Kaylee freaking Plumley. You fire that pitch in and say, touch it if you can, and if she does, you tip your cap, blows it right by there, the swing and the miss, and you get that big punch out.
So Julia Arms, who we talked about, has had a good amount of success against Plumley, lined out to Roberts at third base her first time up. First pitch into her, popped up, and it hits the net for strike 1.
She saw a ton of changeups in her first AB as well. Really, more than I think I've seen her throw it to one batter all season long, trying to change up that timing. And then she went with the fastball the first pitch here, so she may rev up that heat again.
Plumley steps back in the circle. And the 0-1 coming. Waved at, out of play again, right side this time, and that'll be strike 2. And working the outside part of the plate, at least on that second pitch, and had to reach out for it. And for Arms, she's just trying to find her way aboard. I mean, that's what all these players are trying to do. It doesn't matter how you do it. You're just trying to get on base and manufacture something across against this Tigerettes defense. 2-0 lead right now for Gordonsville. Plumley working on strikeout number 9. The 0-2, and just foul-tipped back.
Yeah, just foul-tipped is the right way of putting that because it was off the tip of the barrel to just get enough of it to stay alive.
It was that change-up. She was way out in front of it. Got it off the end of the bat. Still 0-2 here on Julia Arms. Plumley readies, and the pitch. And waves at it on the outside part of the plate for strikeout number 9. Birdie's Lounge strikeout number 9, and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
And what'd she do? Fastball, 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 change up, outside, pump the brakes on that one, and you get the swing through. What a pitch there from Kaylee Plumley.
So now the pitcher in the circle, Kalia Lucas, will step in. Started at third base and then went to the circle. And will step in for the first time. She struck out her first time up. 9 Birdie's Lounge strikeouts here in this championship game so far for Kaylee Plumley. Trying to go back-to-back are the Tigerettes. Plumley delivers home and misses high. And we saw this last year with Kaylee Plumley in that championship game. It was a really good game because she struggled with finding the strike zone at times. Now, again, I think it was still 15 strikeouts in the championship game, but was allowing some base runners in that game. The pitch, that misses high, and now 2-0. That is where that Kelsey Watts grand slam was absolutely enormous to help out the cause and win 5-2.
Plumley's really working that velocity up right now. The accuracy needs to come back for her.
And she gets that one across for a called strike. It's now 2-1 after throwing the first couple of them high. Pumped the fastball in there right down Broadway.
Yeah, that's a good bounce-back pitch now. Lucas knows she can put it over the heart of the plate, and you can get her into swing mode again.
2 balls, 1 strike to Lucas. Plumley brings it home, swings at it, and fouls it back. It's 2-2.
And that was going to be ball 3. So she did get her back into swing mode, and now got her right where she wants her, 2-2, looking to get back into the dugout and get some run support.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Tigerettes lead it 2-0. 7, 8, 9 coming up for them in the bottom of the inning. 2-2. Waved at and missed. It's another Birdie's Lounge strikeout and a big scream after that one from Kaylee Plumley in the circle. She now has 10 punch-outs through 4 innings of work. The Tigerettes lead 2-0. They're coming to the plate in the bottom of 4. This is the 1A State Championship presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Frontier Chevrolet is ready to get you into your next vehicle and are proud to offer a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all vehicles below 80,000 miles. View inventory online at www.caseychevy.com, including the brand new Chevy Trax and Traverse, or stop in at 2350 Cookeville Highway today. Remember, don't buy till you see Jason Fye. Delicious Pan Pizza is Domino's best kept secret, with locations in Smithville, Sparta, Livingston, Allgood, and 2 in Cookeville. Delicious pan and hand-tossed pizza, pasta, and more is never far away. Use the Domino's app to take care of your game day eats today. Domino's is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
It's a 2-0 lead for the Gordonsville Tigerettes. Getting started here in the bottom of 4. 7, 8, 9 due up. Callie Dillard, Christina Ray, and Kelsey Haley. The Gordonsville Tigerettes trying to win their second straight 1A state championship game in softball. They beat Eagleville last year 5-2. They've won 2 in school history, trying to make it 3.
Yeah, they've been undeniable so far in this tournament. 3 run rule victories. They lead 2-0 here in this one. They're looking for some more, and it feels like if they can get 1 or 2, you can start to breathe a little bit easier if you're a Gordonsville fan. It's a bloop in the blast right now for Jo Byrns to tie the game, so an insurance run or 2 could come up really big.
Gordonsville coming into this game had only played 16 innings. They played 7 against Halls in the first game where they won 13-1, which they were the away team in. Played 5 innings against Wartburg in the second game and won 10-0, and only played 4 innings as they won 13-0 yesterday. That one's a called strike across to Callie Dillard, who struck out her first time up to end the first inning.
Yeah, there's a few really impressive stat lines, and if this game holds up the way it's going right now, we could talk about post-game, but this is... They're on the doorstep of some serious history.
Here's the 0-1. Good changeup and got her to swing right through 0-2.
Kalia Lucas is the best pitcher they got.
Yep.
They need to leave her in there. All right, she's dealing.
Is completely thrown off the timing so far of the Tigerettes, but we've seen it at times. Sometimes it'll last 2 or 3 batters.
We were talking to a guy who covers Jo Byrns. He said the right-hander's better. And Lucas, she's got the goods right now.
Here's the 0-2. Goes high that time and throws it over the head.
There's your announcer jinx for the state championship game right there.
She came in the bottom of the 3rd, went 1-2-3 with a flyout, a strikeout, and a ground out. It only had to burn about 8 pitches in the inning. She's got 3 across so far. It's 1-2 to Callie Dillard, leading off here in the 4th. And there's a swing and a miss, and that's another strikeout. Second one on the day for Kalia Lucas in the circle, and the first out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, she's mixed up the fastball, the changeup. She's been able to pinpoint her location so far. She's been really good. 4 up, 4 down since checking into the circle.
So Christina Ray will get ready to step into the box. She grounded out to the left side of the infield. And Lucas, who I believe is now Yates, at third base.
I believe you are right.
Here's a pop-up, shallow left field. This ball is going to drop into the Bermuda Triangle, and Christina Ray off the end of the bat finds her way aboard over at first base, and the first base runner to reach against Lucas.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to get down, and it did drop in there, and now you got some speed, and you're trying to set the table, especially if Haley can find a good way to get on. You get Brinkley and Plumley coming up, who can really break it open.
Kelsey Haley bunted her first time to the right side of the circle. The right side as we are looking at it from behind home plate, so the left side for the pitchers in that circle. And it was a nice play by Callie Yates to spin around and make the left-handed throw. Ray got a good jump off the bag at first, but does not go, and it misses for ball 1.
Yeah, and she can really wreak some havoc out there on the base paths if she tries to go and take the base.
Kelsey Haley steps in, the 9 batter in the lineup, and the shortstop in the field. Swing and a miss.
Good rise ball in that time. Bat right underneath the softball.
It's a 2-0 lead on 4 hits right now for the Gordonsville Tigerettes. A lot of that coming in the first. As Haley will step back in. This one hit hard down the line. Yates catches it, goes to second, and it's off the line. She is safe. Christina Ray slides in safely. It was a pretty good throw, but the second baseman kind of got tangled up with Ray, who was sliding in, and it popped out of the glove.
Yeah,
so no outs.
She has every right to slide into the base that way. She slid right on top of the bag, and it kind of took the feet out of the second baseman, covering the base. The ball pops out. I'm not sure if she was catching it anyway, but now they're in business. And if you find a way to get on for Brinkley and leave nowhere to put Kaylee Plumlee, that is how you can get those big insurance runs.
And she may have been safe anyways,
Yep.
and they actually ruled that a hit. At least on the scoreboard here. It should be a fielder's choice.
It should be.
We'll check the official stats from TSSAA, but we got it in our book as a fielder's choice. As Abby Brinkley steps in and got a first called strike across at 0-1. Lucas delivers home the 0-1. Swings at this one. This one goes right side. It is a fair ball. No, they call it foul. It hit Brinkley in the box. So it kind of could have worked out as a swinging bunt. However, I think it did hit her. And it took a weird bounce. It caromed off into the fair territory, but it hit Brinkley in the box for strike 2.
Yeah, it did hit her on the way out. So now a big opportunity trying to get that second out and have somewhere to put Kaylee Plumlee, who's on deck.
Runners on first and second with one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Lucas rocks and deals the 0-2 and a foul ball.
She went way upstairs to try and get that one and was able to just get the bottom of the bat on it. Or the top of the bat, I should say, on the bottom of the ball.
Brinkley reached her last time on a walk and then was stranded over at third base back in the second inning. She grounded out to shortstop her first time up on the first pitch of the ball game in the bottom of the first. Pitch misses high, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, she's been able to get the strikeout. She just got her chasing that high-rise ball, and she was able to tip it that time. She reads it better out of the hand, doesn't offer at it, and gets that first ball.
Brinkley trying to move the runners over, if not do a little bit more. She hit a home run yesterday. Here's the 1-2. Hit right side, shallow right. That is a fair ball. Ray is at third. She throws on the brakes. A good throw in from right. And now the bases are loaded for Kaylee Plumlee in the bottom of the fourth.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts. Get that popcorn ready quick. Will they walk her home to score the run, or are they going to pitch to Kaylee Plumlee with the bases loaded? I'm walking her, Jacob. We'll see what Jo Byrns decides to do here.
They intentionally walked her. The home plate umpire looking over to the
Oh,
dugout.
my goodness.
And Kaylee Plumlee will bat with the bases loaded and 1 out.
And now everybody in the stadium, the press who isn't really paying attention for the most part, they're locked in.
Lucas gets a strike across on the outside corner, 0-1. Gordonsville fans starting to pound the bleachers and making some noise. They know what could break this game open right now.
It's going to happen.
0-1 with the bases loaded.
It's going to happen.
Lucas misses outside, 1-1. And I don't know if I'm Lucas if I'm not throwing outside 4 pitches in a row.
She's about to put one over this fence. This is the top player in this state in a state championship game with the bases loaded and only 1 out.
And Plumlee trying to ask for time. Home plate umpire wasn't quite looking.
She was waiting to on the pitcher to get ready, and then once she did, she gave the time.
And Plumlee will step back in. The 1-1. Foul ball left side. That'll go out of play.
Her swing speed, we've seen it up close, is so fast. Every time it connects, it just pops off the bat. That was a little foul off to the left side, and it still exploded off.
Big pitch here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. Kaylee Plumlee at the plate with the bases loaded. The pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Jo Byrns thought they got it.
And it was outside. The fans who are groaning about it have no view of that outside. You saw the catcher had to stretch over to the left to make that catch.
Kaylee Plumlee's not going to strike out
No.
looking. I'll tell you that right now.
Not unless it's a bad call. There's no way.
2 balls and 2 strikes now with the bases juiced. Lucas ready to go. Here it is. Hit hard right side, second baseman gloves. Throw to first is there, but it does drive home another run, and everybody else advances up. So it's 3-0, and Kaylee Plumlee gets the job done.
In a lot of ways, that was best case scenario for Jo Byrns.
Yeah.
They get an out, but that's a huge run for Gordonsville. Now, even if Plumlee gets into some trouble in the circle, she starts walking, she hits a couple of batters, she has 3 runs to play with. That takes the bloop and the blast out. Now you need a real rally if you're Jo Byrns, so that's good enough if you're Plumlee. It wasn't a grand slam that would have sent this place into a frenzy, but both ways, I think you got to feel okay if you're Gordonsville and if you're Jo Byrns.
Well, Plumlee so far, she drove in herself on the solo shot in the first, and then she was intentionally walked in the second, and now a ground ball out, but drives home another run. She's driven in 2 today, and it's a 3-0 lead for the Gordonsville Tigerettes here in the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs.
Speaking of maybe hitting home runs.
Yep.
Here comes Kelsey Watts.
Kelsey Watts steps in at the huge grand slam in the championship last year. She's got runners on second and third, and it takes a big hack through that first one. It's strike one.
And with the lead that you have, it's not huge, but it's big enough that you can get in there and take a couple of real healthy hacks. You don't need to choke up on the bat here. Try to send it on a ride and give yourself a huge cushion.
Lucas brings home the 0-1. That one is hit hard out to left field, and the left fielder makes a great jump on it to make the grab by Jo Byrns. Elorisha reads it perfectly off the bat, had to move a couple of steps to her right, and makes the catch for the fly out to left. However, 1 run across for the Tigerettes. They lead 3-0, and we are through 4 here in the 1A state championship game. This game presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student-athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Let's get started in the 5th inning here at MTSU. My name's Jacob Vincent, joined by Noah McKay for today's 1A State Championship softball broadcast presented by Gentry's Power Equipment between the Gordonsville Tigerettes and the Jo Byrns Red Devils. Jo Byrns coming to the plate here in the 5th, 6, 7, and 8. Riley Raines, Miley Head, and Anna Putnam due up against Kaylee Plumlee in the circle.
And for Plumlee, she got an extra run across. She has 2 RBIs in this game now. She's doing what she usually does. That one was pretty close. Didn't get the call. Must have been a tick low. She's trying to now get a quick shutdown inning and put Jo Byrns' backs against the wall with only 3 sets of ABs left.
Plumlee went 1-2-3 in the 4th, 1-2-3 in the 1st and the 2nd as well. But 2 walks in the 3rd have been the only 2 base runners so far. And now she's behind in the count 2-0.
And now it's starting to get to that time. You start counting the outs down. You got 9 more if you're Jo Byrns. And you need 3 runs to come across.
Plumlee brings home the 2-0. That one misses in the dirt. It's now 3-0 for the first time today.
And we saw her lead off an inning with a walk. Got into some trouble, as you mentioned, there in that 3rd inning. We'll see if she's able to battle back here, if there's going to be more pressure here from the Lady Devils.
Yeah, it was there in the 4th, or in the 3rd, as that one is a 4-pitch walk. That one hits the dirt as well. And that'll be the 3rd walk issued. It's the Jo Byrns Red Devil fans trying to make some noise now for Miley Head, who will step to the plate.
And it's one at a time here if you're Jo Byrns. That's what you're looking for. And a trip over to just have a word with Plumlee there from 3rd and give her a pat, word of encouragement.
Courtesy runner comes on as well. Or a pinch runner, I should say. Nope, it is a courtesy runner for Riley Raines.
Now batting, right fielder number 5.
And the one saving grace here for Plumlee is the walks have reared their ugly head in the bottom half of the order. They haven't happened against the big bats at the top for Jo Byrns.
First pitch in to Head. Misses low and inside. She was showing bunt. It misses for ball 1. And now 5 straight balls thrown by Kaylee Plumlee to open up this 5th inning of work.
And if it continues, you're going to see Coach Bush go out and have a word. We've seen that a few times in the postseason.
Runner on first base with nobody out. And the pitch from Plumlee. Oh, that one must have missed a little bit high. It's 2-0. That one looked pretty good.
Yeah, that one looked real good to me.
Maybe inside. And again, Miley Head is that slap bunt slap hitter, so she is moving as the pitch comes in, the 2-0. There's a called strike, and it's now 2-1. That one looked more inside than the last one, so it must have been high.
The last one looked like it was right down the middle to me. Got a fairly good vantage point at it.
2 balls, 1 strike now to Head at the plate. Plumlee brings it home. And that'll miss high. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike with a runner on first and nobody out here in the top half of the 5th.
And here he comes. Coach Bush coming out and have a word with his pitcher. It's her circle. She's not going anywhere, but I need her to ratchet it back in and start pumping in some strikes. When she's throwing strikes, they can't touch her.
Well, and we saw a big cheer let out there by Kaylee Plumley in the 4th inning when she got the strikeout against Kalia Lucas, because she had to grind for some of those strikeouts, and we've seen that at times when she's able to get back into these. When she's able to grind a little bit, it kind of locks her in. After throwing some balls out of the zone, Coach Bush will come out and kind of settle her down a little bit. Again, just a junior, so, I mean, she's been doing this for a few years, but she is a junior in the circle.
Yeah, and that was not a very long trip. It was just a couple of sentences, probably enough for Coach Bush, and he turns around and heads back. And now in a 3-1 count, he's looking for a strike out of his star, his superstar in the circle.
3-1 to Miley Head at the plate with a runner on first. Plumley brings it home, and that misses for ball 4. Back-to-back walks to open up the 5th.
Yeah, nobody out. And the tying runs at the plate here for Jo Byrns. So we mentioned it back in the 3rd. You don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get. If you're the Lady Devils here, you have got to cash in and get some runs across with 2 on and nobody out.
Anna Putnam came up in this exact situation. However, just 1 runner on in the 3rd inning. Tried to put a bunt down and couldn't do so. She struck out. Now she's got runners on first and second with nobody out. Tries to put a bunt down again. Right back to Plumley. Plumley turns to first and gets the out there. She may have had a chance at 3rd, but just smartly goes to first because, again, she could strike out the next 2 batters.
And it's a 3-run lead, so you aren't overly concerned with 1 run coming across. You want to keep that lead intact. She glanced to 3rd. It was going to be a close play and close enough that you don't want to leave that in the hands of an umpire or a bobbled or anything over there. Take the easy route and get that first out of the inning.
So Elarisha will step in. Strikeout victim her first time up, and that's a strike across on the outside part of the plate for 0-1.
If Jo Byrns has a chance to win this state championship, they've got to strike in this inning.
Yep.
I think that is blatantly obvious for the way this game has gone so far.
And Elarisha, the 9 batter in the lineup, so they'll have 1, 2, and 3 upcoming, but this their best opportunity. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Runners on second and 3rd with 1 out after the bunt to move the runners in scoring position by Anna Putnam. 0-2 here to Risha. Plumley fires it in, and just a little bit low. 1-2. 1 out here in the inning with the runners on second and 3rd, and now Bailey Stewart will call time and run out to the circle and have a conversation with her battery mate.
And there's been a lot of discussions in this half inning there between Plumley and Coach Bush. And
I think
Stewart.
they know how important this one is.
Absolutely.
Especially with runners at second and 3rd, the best opportunity that Jo Byrns has had today.
They've been in a dogfight in this game last year against Eagleville. That was a little different, though, because they had a margin for error in that game. Eagleville had to beat them twice. This year's a standalone title game. You win, and it's over.
Now ready to go for the 1-2. Plumley. Ground ball left side. Haley's going to go to first. The run will score. The runner trying to advance to 3rd. Does so, and a run comes across to make it a 3-1 game. They do get the out at first on the putout. The run scores for the courtesy runner for Rains, and Miley Head advances up to 3rd in the process.
And that's why that run was so important in the last inning, because, yes, that run coming across, but it's still a 2-run game, which is where it was just 10 minutes ago. Now all the attention on the batter, Faith Holt.
Faith Holt at the plate. Just the 2nd run allowed by Kaylee Plumley this week. First one was on the home run in the 1st inning of their first game. Swing and a miss. Runner at 3rd base now with 2 outs.
And Holt is choking way up on that bat, trying to get the barrel to the zone as quick as possible.
Yeah, you're just trying to find some green grass out there in the outfield. Outfield kind of shifting her to the left a little bit. Here's the 0-1. And that's a called strike. It's 0-2.
Big one here. If you can strand that runner at 3rd, you're going to see a big celebration, I think, out of Kaylee Plumley when she heads back to the dugout.
3-1 lead for the Tigerettes with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. And the 0-2 pitch popped up, and a foul ball will drift out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner over at 3rd is Miley Head. Walked her way aboard. That will have been the only base runners today. Just by ways of walk. 4 walks today. It's led to 1 run so far. Plumley delivers the 0-2. And another foul ball. Good battle here by Faith Holt. She drew a walk her last time up.
Yeah, you can feel it now. The Jo Byrns fans are making a lot of noise, but there's a little nervous anticipation They know they don't have to get both runs back here, but how many times are you going to have a runner at third in this situation? It may not happen again.
Plumlee brings it home. Ooh. Misses just outside. It was right where Bailey Stewart set up at, but just off the plate.
That was very close. A little bigger ego behind the plate, and we would have been going to the dugout right now. Some people love to make that call.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Plumlee misses high, able to lay off the rise ball. It's now 2-2. This is a big pitch right here. Faith Holt, the lefty, against Plumlee, the lefty in the circle.
This is the biggest pitch of the season right here so far for Plumlee.
It's the leadoff batter in the lineup for Jo Byrns. Holt choking up on the bat. And the 2-2. Misses way outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes with a runner on third base.
Yeah, she went for the changeup there, and it did not come out clean at all. And now 3-2, and you've got some home run power in the on-deck circle for Jo Byrns.
Now Jo Byrns making some noise in the bleachers off to our right. 2 outs. Here is the payoff pitch. Swings right through. A huge Birdie's Lounge strikeout, and Kaylee Plumlee lets out a scream. We head to the bottom of 5. The Tigerettes on top, 3-1. Looking for insurance. This is the 1A State Championship game presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Sonia Brown is a full-service realtor and is licensed across the state of Tennessee, listing and selling residential and multifamily, land and farms, commercial and industrial properties. Sonia handles the sale from start to closing and beyond. Let her put her 30-plus years of experience to work for you. Sonia Brown with American Way Real Estate has been supporting student-athletes in the Upper Cumberland since 1990. You can reach Sonia Brown at 931-979-7145. Sonia Brown, realtor with American Way Real Estate, is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to support student-athletes and athletic departments throughout the Upper Cumberland. They're also proud to sponsor the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game on this broadcast. From trophies to t-shirts, they can do it all. Stop by and see them at 120 Circle Drive in Allgood or give them a call at 931-537-9559. Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th, 4, 5, and 6 for the Gordonsville Tigerettes, leading 3-1. Mackenzie Herron, Bailey Stewart, and Kaylin Roberts. And still against Khalil Lucas in the circle. You wonder at some point if they go back to Yates. They've kind of gone back and forth at times this season, but Lucas has been really solid in the circle so far, as the only 1 run has come across against her thanks to Kaylee Plumlee driving in a run with the bases loaded.
Yeah, she's been really good, and how about the job from Plumlee there? Got into trouble. Yeah. Back-to-back walks, lead off the inning. 1 run came across, but then she got a huge strikeout against the leadoff hitter in the order to get into the dugout with still a 2-run lead.
Here's the 1-0 from Lucas. This ball is hit hard out into left center, and that'll be down. 1 bouncer into the wall by Herron. She's looking for 2. The throw just now coming in, and that is a stand-up double by Mackenzie Herron.
Here come the Tigerettes. She ripped that one right into the left center field gap. 1 hopped into the fence, like you said, Jacob, and that's an easy stand-up double. And here comes Gordonsville looking to get that run back and then some.
And how about Mackenzie Herron as well? 1 hit coming into this championship game. She's now 2 for 3 today.
I think about walking Bailey Stewart here as well. We've seen it with Plumlee. You got an empty base over there at first. The way she's swinging the bat right now, I would strongly consider it.
Stewart was a strikeout victim to Lucas back in the 3rd. She swings and misses at this one.
She swung for the fences on that one. She's got that up and under swing, so if it hits it, it just takes off.
It's 0-1 to Bailey Stewart. She puts a bunt down. Really good one on the first base line. No play to be made. How about Bailey Stewart legging out the bunt single?
That was an unbelievable bunt. It popped into the air and dropped about 10 feet to the right of the circle, right in between that and the first baseline. First baseman comes up, and when she went to put her back foot in the ground, slipped out from behind her just enough, but Stewart was going to be safe either way. Runners at the corners here for the Tigerettes.
And now Kaylin Roberts will step in. She walked her first time, grounded out to arms at shortstop her second time up. Looking for her first hit today. It would come at a big time as they're looking for insurance now. They're trying to get that run back as well after surrendering their first run of the game, just the second run of the tournament. Bunt shown, pulled back for ball 1. And Bailey Stewart does have speed over there at first. She has actually stolen 2nd and 3rd so far this week. And again, she is their catcher and just bunts it for a single. It's a weapon right there.
She's booking it down the line as well, and she bunted This again is a perfect bunt. It didn't really roll out, just stopped in the dirt.
Stewart goes. They're going to let her take second base. It's a Domino's stolen base for Stewart. It was a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. I'll make a bold prediction. I don't know if it's bold. Bailey Stewart's going to play at the next level.
Oh, that's
a lot of these
bold.
players
Yeah,
might.
she absolutely is. No question.
She's a great catcher, and she can hit and has speed.
If she wants to, she's going to have a spot.
Here's the 1-1 to Roberts. Puts a bunt. It's a pop-up, and that'll hit the net for a foul ball. Kind of a late decision on the bunt that time, where she was pulling around to show the first couple of times. That time, as the pitch was coming in, she tried to put it down. And it's now 1-2 to Kaylin Roberts, the second baseman. Runners on second and third, with nobody out. Pitch from Lucas, swinging away, down the line, and a fair ball. This is going to score 2 for Kaylin Roberts. She's looking to get into 2. It's a 2 RBI double for the second baseman.
What a start for the Gordonsville Tigerettes here. They give 1 run back in the 5th, and they've answered with 3 straight base hits here in the bottom half. And now they've got the 4-run advantage for Kaylee Plumley, and they are not done yet. Still nobody out, Jacob.
Callie Dillard stepping to the plate. Roberts, a 2 RBI double. Looks like actually Camry Johnson is going to pinch hit here for Callie Dillard. And Camry Johnson has hit well. She's 2 for 2 so far this week at the plate.
Probably a bunt coming here for Cambry Johnson if I was a betting man, which, no comment. Cambry Johnson, she can square it up. She's got the speed. She's usually the pinch runner, courtesy runner in, so this would make a lot of sense. Try to move that runner up and get another run just 1 bag away.
Again, she's 2 for 2 this week. She does show bunt, pulls it back.
Nobody's holding her.
Absolutely. So now the center fielder comes on at second base to cover Roberts, who was getting way off the bag. It misses low for ball 1.
Nobody was holding Roberts. And now the center fielder has to go all the way back, so they're making her move.
Lucas, the 1-0. Bunt put down. Good bunt right side. Lucas fields and makes the throw to first. It moves the runner over to third. Very productive bunt there by Camry Johnson.
Yeah, nobody out. That is a perfect bunt for Johnson. Moves the runner over, stress-free. She could have legged it out maybe. If it stops a little bit shorter, it does it. But you will gladly trade a base for an out there if you're Coach Push over there in the third base coaching box.
So now Christina Ray, who singled her last time up and scored the run back in the 4th, will come to the plate with just 1 out here in the 5th. Trying to plate another run and possibly some more insurance. It's a 5-1 lead right now for the Gordonsville Tigerettes. Lucas brings it home. Bunt shown, and it fortunately rolls backwards. Ray may have been safe, but it wasn't going to score the run. It'll be strike 1.
Yeah, the goal was to move her over on the squeeze play, and I think she was going to be safe, but it had that backspin on it, hit the plate, and bounced behind into foul territory.
So now 0-1 to Ray. And you've mentioned it multiple times. She's got a ton of speed.
Great crowd tuning in online on Facebook right now.
Here's the pitch. Ray puts it down the third baseline. That time another foul ball, and it's now 0-2. And keep those comments coming along. I know a lot of you guys have been commenting along with us, whether it's on Facebook. If you're on YouTube as well, make sure you like the stream and you like the page. Upper Cumberland Reporter on YouTube if you want to go listen there. State championship coverage presented by Gentry's Power Equipment today in the 1A State Softball Tournament. Gordonsville trying to make it 2 for 2. Back-to-back years and trying to make it their 3rd in school history. First one in 2014, second one last year. Here's the pitch to Ray. Swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout right there for Lucas. And now 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, big time. Ray got a couple of decent bunts down, but they both just trickled into foul territory and then had to swing away. Lucas went into attack mode to get that punch out.
So Kelsey Haley, the shortstop, reached on the fielder's choice. Hard hit ball, but the fielder's choice to the left side of the infield. And it was Christina Ray who actually slid into second base safely on the play. Now steps to the plate. Checks swing and misses high for ball 1.
Surprised they haven't appealed down yet.
Yeah, that was pretty hard check, and now they're asking. She did not go.
I think they waited too long to ask. If you ask immediately, you're more likely to get that call than if you ask late.
Lucas, the 1-0 pitch. That'll miss high as well. 2 balls and no strikes now to Kelsey Haley, and you really do not want to flip it back to the... Hey, I guess really in this Tigerettes lineup, it doesn't matter who you face, but you really don't want to flip it back to the top and Brinkley.
I was just about to say, you got to be careful here because Abby Brinkley's waiting, and then you know who's right behind her in the form of Kaylee Plumley. So they're going to get ABs at some point. Question is, will it be here in the 5th or in the 6th?
At the plate, number 6, Kelsey Haley.
2 balls, no strikes to Kelsey Haley. And Lucas delivers home. That one a called strike. It's 2-1. Runner at third base.
That just clipped the top of the zone.
Yeah, Haley, a little bit shorter in stature. A little bit of a smaller strike zone. 2-1. And that one is a called strike, and the temperature, you could feel it, just dipped off a little bit as that rain is starting to roll in.
It's getting close, like within the next 20 minutes close, so we could get this show on the road here. We've got about an inning and a half to go, potentially.
Here's the 2-2. Misses high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The good thing with the rain, it doesn't look to be terribly heavy, but we've seen it in the last couple of days. A pop-up cell could pop up out of nowhere and absolutely dump on the field.
Give me about 45 minutes, and then I don't care because our day will be done.
Yeah. Here's the payoff. That one off the end of the bat and a foul ball by Kelsey Haley, the 9 batter in the lineup for the Tigerettes.
And now's that rise ball that we've seen her get a couple of punch-outs with. Haley that time went way up to just foul tip it.
3 straight hits leads to 2 runs here in the inning for the Tigerettes. They lead it 5-1, have a runner on third and another payoff. Misses low and inside, and that'll be a walk to Kelsey Haley. Abby Brinkley will bat here in the 5th.
Well, I got some advice for Jo Byrns. Don't walk Abby Brinkley because they've already tempted fate once with Plumlee and the bases loaded. And Abby Brinkley certainly capable of putting a charge into something as it hangs in the balance right now. It's threatening to get away from the Lady Devils in this one.
It's just the first walk issued by Lucas. It puts runners at first and third now for Abby Brinkley. She shows bunt, pulls it back, runner goes, and Kelsey Haley will have a domino stolen base. Now runners at second and third, and a 1-0 count.
You think they're going to intentionally walk her?
No.
No, I don't either. That'd be a weird decision.
Next
she can
batter,
still make them pay for not doing that.
That's true.
This lineup is so good.
Here's the 1-0. Misses high. They might intentionally walk her.
And this place is going to whip into a frenzy if that happens.
You would have Kaylee Plumlee coming to the plate for bases loaded for the second straight inning if that happens. Here's the 2-0. And that misses outside. It is 3-0 to Abby Brinkley with 2 outs and runners on second and third. Brinkley would imagine the big red light is on. It is. And it's right down Broadway for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. Now it's go time. Lucas needs a couple of really good pitches. Brings it home. Swung on, right side of the infield. Second baseman cannot get there. It goes into the outfield. 2 runs going to score again. And Abby Brinkley slides into second base safely. How about that from the leadoff batter? A 2 RBI hit for Brinkley.
Great piece of hitting there for Abby Brinkley as she rips it over there and right past the outstretched glove of the second baseman. And that's going to be a double for her there as she pulls in 2 more RBIs. A 4 spot here put up by the Gordonsville Tigerettes, and now Plumlee standing in. And they haven't motioned for it yet, but I would imagine they're going to walk her here and take their chances. But what a big inning here as Jo Byrns kind of tightened it for the first time.
Yeah.
They got it to 2, and then all of a sudden, 3 straight base hits to open the inning. And how about the backbreaker there potentially by Abby Brinkley?
Well, how about this as well from Gordonsville, where they have played Jo Byrns very, very tight. They're going to let Kaylee Plumlee hit here with 2 outs and nobody at first base.
But
they've played really, really tight.
And the wind is now gusting straight out of here as if they needed it.
7-1 right now. And then misses outside. 1-0. Plumlee has been to the plate 3 times. She was intentionally walked once in the second. She had a solo home run in the first and grounded a ground ball that scored a run back in the 4th.
And if Plumlee sends this a long way, we're going to have a different discussion.
The 1-0 misses high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Because 10 after 5 will become a real possibility. How many times have we seen that this year for Gordonsville in a fairly tight game and they break it open with a huge inning?
Well, they didn't technically run rule the first game, but they won 13-1 and did run rule games 2 and 3 here in this state tournament on their way to the championship game. 2-0, hard hit down the line, but just foul by the width of a ball. 2-1.
She swings with so much power. It is really impressive. It's like Jacob with a golf club. Ripping it, especially when he's mad.
Yeah. Why catch me after making a bogey? It's going a long ways.
A bogey, he says.
2 balls and 1 strike. Lucas brings it home and misses outside. 3 balls and a strike, and I just felt a little raindrop, I believe.
Yep.
We do have a little bit of cover. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. And we're going to need it.
We are, because we didn't bring raincoats.
3 balls and a strike to Kaylee Plumlee. And the pitch from Lucas misses high. It will be a walk. So no harm done yet. But it does bring Kelsey Watts to the plate, and that is the second walk issued of the inning for Kalia Lucas.
I'm a little surprised we haven't seen the move back now. Just as all year we've kind of seen bouncing back and forth for Jo Byrns, and Lucas was really good there for a couple of frames, but it looks like Gordonsville is starting to see it really well. They're timing her up clearly, hitting it very hard. No move yet from Jo Byrns, but one swing back here for Kelsey Watts, and they're only one away from the run rule.
This will be interesting to see who runs for Kaylee Plumley as well, because Camry Johnson actually hit in this inning. I'm going to guess it's Laura Thompson. And it is. So Laura Thompson will now come on to run for Kaylee Plumley rather than Camry Johnson, who put down a sack punt in the inning, and it worked out for him.
And Kaylee Plumley just gave some words to Kelsey Watts about something she was seeing from Lucas there in the circle. So we'll see if Kelsey Watts can do it again.
So Kelsey Watts now at the plate. 0 for 3 so far. And that'll miss inside for ball one.
What an inning here. You just got to be so impressed. It's the Gordonsville team. We watched Stewart's Creek earlier face off against Dobbins Bennett. Dobbins Bennett winning the 4A state championship.
Swing and a miss. And good changeup.
This is a Gordonsville team that could absolutely compete with those two teams. They could be anybody in this state, regardless of classification, maybe regardless of division. They are the best of the best.
That Gibbs pitcher was, or not Gibbs, but Dobbins Bennett pitcher was pumping it in there. Gibbs will play a little later today. That one misses high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Kelsey Watts. Watts will step in with a runner on second base. 2-1, and another swing and a miss. She's really getting her on that changeup.
Yeah, and it's upstairs. Watts, you can tell she's thinking about hitting something for power, and everything that's coming up in the zone, she's really offering at it. And so now it wouldn't surprise me at all if Lucas goes back there maybe with the rise ball.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lucas brings it home and goes inside that time, and it's run full again and has already walked 2 batters here in the inning. And now Tigerettes are in danger of batting around here in the inning.
And if Watts reaches, it's the winning run coming to the plate.
Mackenzie Herron is the cleanup batter. She's got power. The pitch. And that's a called strike 3 on the inside corner. Watts let it go by. Big strikeout there for Lucas, and it gets out of the inning. But 3, make it 4 more runs across, has made it 7-1. And Noel McKay will be back on the headset coming up in the top of the 6th. Tigerettes lead at 7-1 here on the 1A State Championship presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
From the sports field to the hunting field, our friends at Hall Sports and Outdoors can outfit anyone. Located in the heart of Jamestown at 207 South Main Street, Hall Sports and Outdoors carries everything from kayaks, fishing gear, and camo to guns and ammo. With top brands such as Columbia, Timberland, Under Armour, Asics, and much more, nobody can top their selection. Gear and custom embroidery. Stop by and see them at 207 South Main Street in Jamestown. Hall Sports and Outdoors, proud sponsor of this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Clint Connor is your local auctions expert. With full service from start to finish, the Exit Crossroads Auction Group are here to make the process easy for you. Visit crossroadsauctiongroup.com for more details and current auctions. Clint Connor, your local auctions expert, is proud to sponsor this broadcast on the UCR Media Network. Welcome back as we head to the top of the 6th inning. The Gordonsville Tigerettes 2 frames away from going back-to-back in defense of their Class 1A state championship. The 2023 state champs lead Jo Byrns 7-1 after a 4 spot put up in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3 base hits to open the frame. They added a critical one late as well by Abby Brinkley. And it is all Tigerettes. Kaylee Plumley back in the circle facing 2-3-4. And the first pitch is roped down the third base line. It's going to be a base hit from Millie Putnam. She's looking for 2 as the throw comes in from left. And the no-hitter is over for Kaylee Plumley. First base hit of the game comes here with nobody out in the 6th. And Jo Byrns looking for a huge rally. Gets a runner in scoring position.
Just the second hit of the state tournament that Kaylee Plumley has allowed. The first one was the home run in the first inning against Halls to Gamblin. That time, a well-struck ball jumping on the first pitch that she saw. And now a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Tally Yates started this game in the circle. She's 0 for 2 at the plate. Watches ball 1 go past as it's 1-0. First pitch swinging there for Millie Putnam. She had struck out a couple of times in the game. She wasn't going to get behind that time and hit it hard down that third base line. The 1-0 from Plumley is fouled back, and it's 1-1 here to Yates. She'll be followed up by Julia Arms. Kalia Lucas is behind her as Jo Byrns trying to get a rally here as the road team. They will bat in the top of the 7th. So they have 2 sets of ABs left down to their final 6 outs this season. As the rain gets closer and closer, Plumlee fires the rise ball that misses up, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, it seems like it's trying to hold off just a little bit, but for the Tigerettes, you've got the 6-run cushion, but for Jo Byrns, this is exactly what you wanted. Felt like you had your best opportunity a couple of innings in that last inning. You did get a run across, but defensively just were unable to hold up.
The 2-1 bounces and gets away from Stewart behind the dish on the wild pitch. The runner moves up to third. Potential second run for the Lady Devils, but of course, Gordonsville with a big cushion, holding on to a 7-1 advantage.
It looks like we're about 10-15 minutes away from that first batch of rain getting here.
Callie Yates is ahead in the count 3-1 as Plumlee rocks and delivers. That one misses ball 4. Back-to-back base runners here for Jo Byrns. And here comes Julia Arms, 0 for 2 with a line out and a strikeout so far in this one.
Number 17,
The Jo Byrns fans trying to spurn their team and avoid the outs for as long as possible. Kaylee Plumlee trying to dial it back in there in the circle, struggling just a little bit here the past couple of frames. First pitch swinging for Arms. She sends it up and out of here, 1-0.
Yeah, and I think now 5 walks on the day for Kaylee Plumlee, and that is the max that she's gotten to here in the state tournament. Had 5 walks against Wartburg, but was able to really bear down and make some good pitches as Wartburg did not score against them in that second game of the day, or of the tournament, whereas Jo Byrns, they've been threatening, and they've got the bats that can obviously put it into the outfield.
Misspoke, of course. It's 0-1 after that fly out of here, foul. Plumlee. Runners at the corners and nobody out. This one's popped up in the infield. Stewart slides to make the catch for out number 1. A nice play there from Bailey Stewart from her catcher position.
That's a really good play, and even if she drops that one, Yates over at first base didn't really get off of first, so if she does drop it, she can still just throw over to first base to get the out, or possibly second base for a double play, but still a really nice play by Stewart just in front of the plate for the first down.
Kalia Lucas trying to get some back after giving up 4 in the bottom of the 5th. Stands in here with runners at the corners and 1 out. First pitch misses up from Kaylee Plumlee.
And that's been her miss so far. And other than to Yates, where she was kind of all over the place, it's been on the rise ball where she's trying to get swings and misses. But Jo Byrns has been fairly patient at trying to wait for something that's going to be in the zone.
Plumlee takes a deep breath as she's standing, straddling the rubber now. Fires away. There's a good fastball in there for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, and comes back with that challenge fastball. And I wonder if you see some of those more challenge fastballs as this game continues and gets a little bit later because, well, unless you're guessing perfectly, you're probably not going to hit it great.
Plumlee with the 1-1. That one misses low. Stewart able to grab it, 2-1. Gentry's Power Equipment's been the presenting sponsor of all of our spring fling coverage. Your local Steel and Exmark dealer located on Buffalo Valley Road in Cookeville. Gentry's Power Equipment, from mowers, blowers, chainsaws, and more, and a service department. They can do it all there, and we appreciate them very, very much. As this one is swung on and missed on the changeup, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, big pitch right there, and I mentioned going with the fastball a couple of times, and now you change that speed, you change the velocity, you come back with the changeup. You've got 1 out, you've got 2-2 count here. If you can get a strikeout, it feels all that much closer.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one, close but no cigar. Misses a little bit out, and we run full. Big moment here with 1 out, 3 balls, 2 strikes, runners at the corners.
Now how big is it that you got that insurance run, those insurance runs across for the Tigerettes?
Plumlee spins the ball in the glove. Here comes the 3-2. Swung on. Let's do it again as it's fouled back.
It went inside that time. Lucas kind of dipping at it, able to get underneath it and foul it off. A little bit out in front of it as well. And now Plumlee, going to see what she goes to. We've seen the change up, the rise ball. She'll go 3 different ways here on 3-2. She's just trying to get something across.
The junior Kaylee Plumlee with a 3-2 payoff pitch. Swung on and foul tipped. It was almost strike 3. Let's do it one more time. Good battle here put up by Kalia Lucas.
And that was as foul tipped as you can get, right off the end of the bat, where Stewart almost got a glove on it even though it was foul tipped.
I thought it was going to be strike 3. She is somehow at the last second able to tip it. Another 3-2 from Plumlee. Cool, strike 3, right on the inside corner with a fastball and a big Birdie's Lounge strikeout. The 12th of the game for Kaylee Plumlee.
It's so fun listening to the crowd react to Kaylee Plumlee pitching because they are so smart and they could see that pitch coming in, where that pitch is coming in at. They know it's going to be a strike, and they're cheering before even the home plate umpire makes the call.
A double and a walk led off this inning for Jo Byrns. Then a pop out and a strikeout has given Kaylee Plumlee new life. With 2 outs, here is Riley Raines trying to extend the frame. First pitch, that one misses low, ball 1. 12 Birdie's Lounge strikeouts through 5 2/3 innings today for Kaylee Plumley. Just a junior. One more year at Gordonsville before heading to Rocky Top. Plumley with the 1-0. Foul tipped. 1-1. And now the energy is turning into anticipation for the Tigerettes faithful, which have descended upon this softball field here in Murfreesboro.
I mean, this is a fairly good-sized softball stadium, and they have filled it up about 3/4 of the way themselves.
Jo Byrns fills up the other as the 1-1 pitch swung on upstairs, fouled out of play, and it's 1-2 for Plumley, who's hunting a big-time knockout pitch to put the Tigerettes 1 out away.
And they're out of softballs, so the home plate umpire has to go to the Jo Byrns side and get some softballs after all the foul balls.
Riley Raines at the plate. And the big deal here, if Plumley's able to get this out, it would be 7-8-9 due up for the Lady Red Devils in the 7th inning when they try to save their season here in the state title game.
That's before the Tigerettes are going to have a chance for more insurance coming up at the bottom of the 6th.
1-2 coming from Plumley again after we've got a new softball in. Fires in, that one misses upstairs, and Raines lays off. Deuce is wild, 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 on. Runners at the corners, they've been stuck there now for a couple of batters.
It's going to be kind of terrifying batting against Kaylee Plumley when that one comes a little high and inside.
Looking for the punch out. Here comes the 2-2. This one's flared out into right field, but angling right under it, and no problem to make the catch in right for Christina Ray. And the Tigerettes are an inning away from a back-to-back state championship, but they'll look for some more insurance and maybe 4 to end it when we come back. This is the Class 1A state championship game presented by Gentry's Power Equipment on the Frontier Chevy UCR Media Network.
Fire and Vine in Cookeville is the Upper Cumberland's home for delicious Chicago-style pizza, beef, chicken, fish, and more. Located in Cookeville's historic downtown district, Fire and Vine's food and atmosphere will keep you coming back for more. Take in stunning views with creative food and drinks on the rooftop. Fire and Vine is proud to support this broadcast on the UCR Media Network.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Visit swallowsinsurance.com or call us today, 931-526-4025. Protecting your future. It's what we do.
Welcome back. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning, and for the second straight frame, it's Heron, Stewart, and Roberts due up for the Tigerettes. They struck for 4 in the bottom half of the 5th, and then Kaylee Plumley got out of a jam. A leadoff double and a walk put runners at the corners for Jo Byrns in the top half of the 6th, and then she promptly went pop out, strikeout, fly out to leave it at 7-1. The Tigerettes either looking to get 3 outs in the top of the 7th or score 4 runs here to win the state championship.
Yeah, they can kind of do it however they want to if they want to do it offensively here in the championship, and what a dominant run that would be if you can get 3 run rules in a row to cap off the state championship. And then also you could do it in the top of the 7th, and Kaylee Plumley could finish it off just like she's done almost every single game this season.
Mackenzie Heron doubled and scored a run to lead off the 5th. She's 2 for 3 today with a couple of runs scored. Watches strike 1 fired in. Back to work in the circle. Here is Kalia Lucas. She started at 3rd. She's been at the circle since the 3rd inning here for Jo Byrns. She fires in. That one misses inside. Backing out of the way was Mackenzie Heron.
And we saw, starting with Heron in the last inning, where they were finally able to jump on those first 3 batters in the inning, to jump on Lucas, who had been fairly good through her 3 innings of work so far.
The 1-1. This one's chopped over foul, and it's 1-2.
Good change up that time. Got Heron to, she read it well, just didn't time it up very well. A little bit out in front, hit it hard into foul territory left side.
The first state championship game appearance in school history for Jo Byrns. They have never won a state championship in any sport. As the 1-2 bounces in, and it's 2-2. For Gordonsville, when they get here, they've dominated. The 2-time state champs in 2023 and 2014. They have a runner-up finish as well. All time in this tournament, the Tigerettes are 16-4. When they get here, they win a lot of games in the spring fling.
They're trying to make it 8 straight wins in the state tournament as well.
2-2 misses upstairs, and a good take that time for Heron. She's battled back to run the count full.
They went 4-0 last year, trying to make it 4-0 this year. This year in dominant fashion.
Yeah, they have blistered through this tournament. This one's chopped over foul, and we'll do it again with a full count. Good battle here between Herron in the batter's box and Lucas in the circle.
And listen, this Jo Byrns team is a really good softball team, and how maddening does it have to be? You make the state tournament 3 years in a row. You end their season a couple of years ago, but then last year you fall in the semifinals, and then you fall to Eagleville, who won it the year before.
3-2 again, ripped foul, and Herron just been out in front of these pitches, but she's putting good swings on them.
And now for Jo Byrns, you finally make the state championship, but guess what? You got to face Gordonsville and Kaylee Plumlee's junior season, so you're probably going to see her next year as well.
Yeah, they will be the bona fide favorite next year. As long as Kaylee Plumlee's there, they'll be a favorite to be here as this one's chopped over. Foul again. Rinse and repeat here for Herron. That one was the closest one. It stayed in the dirt, but it did go foul.
It literally looks like batting practice right now. I mean, she keeps hitting these ground balls, but they're just foul. About 2 or 3 feet foul. They're in between Coach Bush and Yates at third base.
Another payoff pitch. This one swung, and it's going to stay fair down the third base line. She was trying to time it up over and over and over again, and finally Mackenzie Herron does, and she leads off the inning with another base hit. She struggled a little bit with the bat so far in this tournament, but not today as she's 3 for 4.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. A tip of the cap to Mackenzie Herron, who has been the only batter to struggle at times so far this week. And, man, she has shown out here in this championship game and gets a base runner aboard in the 6th.
Bailey Stewart had an RBI triple in the first. She had a single in the 5th. She struck out in between, 2 for 3. Runner at first pitch swinging, and that's going to get through into left field for another base hit. Herron pulls into second, Stewart into first, and Gordonsville sniffing the run rule now, down by, or just 4 runs away from getting to that 10-run lead, as here comes Kaylin Roberts, who had a 2 RBI double in the last inning.
I was just going to say, Kaylin Roberts was able to rip one to the left center wall and score a couple of runs and stroll into second with the double, and so she's got some power. And then you'll have Camry Johnson coming up in the hole, who was the pinch hitter for Callie Dillard as the designated player, so she'll be back out there.
Runners at first and second. Pitch coming inside. That one catches the inside corner to Roberts. 0-1 as Lucas is trying to get some outs here and give their bats a chance. Potential game-winning run on the run rule is on deck here for Gordonsville. Now bunt shown from Roberts a little bit late. Didn't get it down, and it's quickly 0-2.
They've played 4 games in the state tournament. In all 4 games, they've had double-digit hits. They've also had double-digit runs. They're at 7 right now.
11 hits today in this game so far. Just 1 for Jo Byrns. The 0-2, Roberts chops this one. It goes foul.
Jo Byrns had only allowed 4 earned runs in 4 games to get to the state championship game.
They had not faced the Gordonsville Tigerettes, though.
No, they have not.
Who are the class of this classification. Make no mistake about it, and they are proving it without question here today. The 0-2 swung on. That is way out of play and hit a country mile. We'll do it again.
I think there's a parking garage or some kind of building over there in the left, and that ball was hammered by Roberts.
See who comes up next. It looks like it's going to be Camry Johnson again. Came in as a pinch hitter for Dillard the last time through. Here comes the 0-2 again. This one sent. It's going to be a fair ball into the gap again. This will score at least 1. Stewart rounds 2, heading for third. She's being sent home by Coach Bush, and now will slam the brakes. It's another RBI double for Kaylin Roberts, and the Gordonsville Tigerettes are 3 runs away from winning the championship on the run rule.
And it actually will be Callie Dillard, so he makes the change after the runners advance up to second and third. And now we'll have a visit into the circle because Callie Dillard very well could end this game with 1 swing at the bat.
Stewart standing at third. Roberts into second with another RBI double. How about the day for Kaylin Roberts? She has 2 straight RBI doubles with 3 runs batted in. She's also walked and stolen a base today. And there is a trip to the circle. We'll see if there's a change for Jo Byrns, or just going to ride until the wheels fall off, trailing 8-1, and Gordonsville threatening for more with 2 in scoring position.
Well, it looks like it's going to stay with Lucas in the circle, but the big thing right now for Gordonsville, Lucas had been in the zone whenever she first came into the game, but now the Tigerettes have started to time her up, and she is still in the zone. A big reason why there's been a lot of hits. Now you've got a power hitter coming to the plate in Callie Dillard.
Callie Dillard, she's struck out a couple of times. This is her 3rd attempt in the game, her 2nd against the new pitcher in Kalia Lucas. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Gordonsville with 3 straight base hits again to open up the 6th. First pitch misses up, gets away, runner heading home to throw, is not in time, safe. Bailey Stewart makes it 9-1 as Roberts advances over to third.
Well, that makes it a little bit easier now, and you make it 9-1. That one got away for one of the first times we've seen it. It's not a huge backstop. It's a little bit bigger than Starplex or McKnight, so you've got some more space, and a good job by Stewart, who we have seen has the speed and takes advantage.
Stewart was decisively booking it down the line as soon as that one got away behind the dish. 2 runs away from winning the state championship in run rule fashion are the Gordonsville Tigerettes, and Callie Dillard is ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. She shows bunt this time, and it fouls back. Christina Ray on deck, Kelsey Haley behind her, and now the prospects of getting it done in this completely dominant fashion are very much real, with still nobody out in the bottom of the 6th.
I mean, if they're able to do it like what they're on pace to do right now,
it will be one of the most dominant runs we have ever seen as the 1-1 misses up, and that's in any classification.
Yes. I was just going to say the same thing. And it's not like, and listen, it is 1A. This is not a bad 1A classification.
No.
Jo Byrns, Hollow Rock, Brewston, very good. Oliver Springs was very good. Jo Byrns had to go through a gauntlet to get here to the championship game.
Well, they're facing Thanos in this one. Here comes the 2-1. This one a big cut. Swung on and missed from Callie Dillard, and it's 2-2.
Kaylin Roberts over at third base also advancing on that pass ball, kind of giving some words of encouragement now to Dillard at the plate, trying to bring her home.
2-2. Swung on. This one stood up and in the air. It's angling back. Goodbye, softball! A walk-off home run to win the state championship. Callie Dillard. Ball game. It was billed as a state tournament. It was a coronation. For the 2nd straight year, the Gordonsville Tigerettes are state champions. Final score, Gordonsville 11, Jo Byrns 1. Walk-off fashion on the run rule by Callie Dillard.
That's one heck of a, I mean, we talked about it. Callie Dillard has the power to end this game. It helped whenever, obviously, Baylor Stewart was able to come home and score, and they rush the circle, and they do give a dog pile in the circle for Callie Dillard. What a swing of the bat. That ball was smashed high in the air, and guess what? Goose is out there. He's getting some great tournament coverage, especially here in this game, and you mentioned it. It's a coronation for this Gordonsville Tigerettes team. Back-to-back state champions.
Back-to-back state champions. They are the undisputed queens of Class 1A. And this year, it was complete and utter dominance out of the Gordonsville Tigerettes. 4 victories, 3 run rules, all 4 by double digits. 13-1 in the first game, 11-1 in the last game, with a couple of blowouts mixed in between. There is no question about it. This is the top softball team in the 1A classification, and maybe the top team in this entire state.
They scored 13, you mentioned it in the first game, 10 in the second, 13 more in the third, 36 runs in 3 games. Now 47 in 4 games in the state tournament, and they also had 13 more hits today, close to, it's around 48 hits or more in this state tournament. Kaylee Plumley also tremendous in the circle. What a win for this Gordonsville Tigerettes team. I mean, again, we can't say enough. That is a very good Jo Byrns Red Devils softball team, and they just ran into a buzzsaw.
Gordonsville rounds out their season with a record of 33-5. They dominated their way through the regular season in District 7 Single A. They dominated the District 7 Single A tournament. They won the region tournament with a little resistance by this Jo Byrns team, but my goodness, did they get even late. And in this state tournament, they outscored their 4 opponents 47-2 en route to this victory of the state championship. And the batting numbers are unbelievable for this team as an entire squad.
They batted .462 with 48 hits, 12 doubles, 3 triples, 5 home runs, including 2 today. They drove in 42 runs and scored 47 runs today. But you also have to talk about Kaylee Plumley.
You have to.
In 4 games, she pitched 20 1/3 innings, started all 4 games. She went 4-0 in this tournament, only allowed 2 earned runs, 40 9 strikeouts to 14 walks.
2 hits.
2 hits.
2 hits
Yep.
in 4 games for
Yep.
Kaylee Plumley. And they scored 47 runs in 4 games. This will be among the most dominant runs we have ever seen through a state tournament in any sport. They have completely separated from the pack, and they get a lot coming back next year, where they will be trying to make it 3 straight. But this is a well-deserved state championship. There's no asterisks, there's no, but they didn't play this team. They played the schedule, and they obliterated everybody in their way. And for the 3rd time in school history, the Gordonsville Tigerettes are state champions, and for the 2nd straight year, they are state champions.
They have 1 senior on the roster. It's Kelsey Haley, their shortstop, who will not be coming back next year. Everybody else will return for this Tigerettes team. So a tip of the cap to Kelsey Haley, a 2-time state champion, will exit as one of the best players, one of the best teams in softball championship history here in the state of Tennessee, and a great career for her. But again, only 1 senior on this roster. They are all coming back next year.
And they will be coming back to try and defend once again. What a title defense it was for the Gordonsville Tigerettes. And they are about to get their trophy, and they will get a group picture. Once again, Michael Lindsay is here. Complete coverage coming to UpperCumberlandReporter.com.
Kelsey Watts, also a senior. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Kelsey Watts, the game winner last year in the Grand Slam.
Absolutely.
So 2 seniors on that
roster. We're
roster.
replacing a couple of pieces in their infield, but they bring back a loaded squad, and what a legacy it was for Kelsey Watts, to your point, and Kelsey Haley, as the 2 Kelseys will graduate on, and what a way for them to go out in just complete dominant fashion. This one will be talked about for a long time. They are the class of this state. And this will be our final live stream of the year. We'll be back rolling here momentarily soon. Stick around, coming up at some point in the next week for a complete season highlight reel. Looking back through the hundreds of live streams we've had this year, some of the highlights of the year. This will certainly be among them as Coach Jonathan Bush comes out to get his trophy, and then the team will get theirs.
How fun is our job? We go to the state championship in football as Upperman football. They fall in the state championship in a great game against Pearl Cone. We go to the state championship multiple times in basketball on the girls' side. Pickett County wins, and Upperman makes another state championship. Gordonsville basketball makes a pretty deep run in the boys, and we're there for Cookeville basketball, and then we come here for Gordonsville softball. A lot of championships this year. The Upper Cumberland is in good hands.
They are in good hands. What a successful year. The 3-time state champion Gordonsville Tigerettes going to sprint out to get their trophy, as it is pure elation for them, and very, very well-deserved. What a job by Coach Bush and his staff, and the players as well. In addition to that, I told you about also coming up this summer, the 2nd annual 7-on-7 UCR Showcase. That'll be in early July, right after the dead period. Teams around the Upper Cumberland coming to Baxter to participate in 2 days of 7-on-7 football action. We're also the official video partner of Red, White, and Boom, the 2nd largest fireworks display and show in the state of Tennessee. The concert, the 5K run leading up to it the night before, the parade the morning of. We will have video coverage of all of it along our Facebook page and YouTube channel. And then Proving Ground Season 2. We're going somewhere that's going to be a lot of fun. We will tell you about and have more announcements on that soon. But trust me, it's going to be a lot of fun this year as we take an in-depth look at a high school football program in their off-season preparation. We did year 1 last year in Baxter. We're going to a new school this year, and it's going to be a ton of fun. And before you know it, we'll be back with golf coverage, volleyball streams, and of course, high school football just around the corner from here. But what a fitting in to our live stream schedule and live stream season this year. Similar to last year, it ends in elation for the Gordonsville Tigerettes as they go back-to-back. Callie Dillard walks it off on the run rule. Tigerettes 11, Jo Byrns 1 for the 3rd time in school history, and for the 2nd straight season, the Gordonsville Tigerettes are state champions. I'm Noah McKay for Jacob Vincent to my left, Michael Lindsay on the field, and everybody at UCR. Have a great and safe Memorial Day, everybody.